A different beginning. Demon, you killed my son. How dare you show your face here? These were all the things young Naruto heard as he felt yet another jolt of pain from one of their kicks. He always hated when this happened. Why was it always him? What did he do? Crack. Was the noise heard when someone slammed a stick on the blonde hard enough to snap it in half? All he wanted to was live a peaceful life, with friends and family, a place to call home, food on his plate, clothes to keep him warm when it got cold. He was a nice boy. What had he done wrong? What had he done to deserve this punishment? Die. He heard as time seemed to slow as he again heard a whooshing noise and a feeling of sadness and anger. The thought seemed impossible, yet possible at the same time. The thought of dying, the thought of disappearing and never appearing again. The thought angered him. He could live peacefully somewhere in a better place. But he couldn't let them have what they wanted. They wanted him dead, and sometimes so did he. Naruto couldn't get what he wanted, so why should people such as these get what they desire? Yet he who had done nothing wrong have to suffer through this? Soon the pain stopped. He uncurled from his fetal position. Memories of the thoughts he had already dissipating and vanishing just like the people. He looked around, didn't see anyone, and wondered why they had suddenly just left him alone. He slowly got up and headed for the forest in the surrounding area of the Hidden Leaf Village. He had nowhere else to go. The orphanage had treated him like crap, and when he was old enough to walk, he was kicked out. Like he wanted to be with those bastards anyway. But just as he neared the edge of the area where he had been beaten, he could have sworn he saw something out of the corner of his eye disappear into the shadows. He ignored it as an illusion his brain was making because of the pain and continued on his path. Naruto maneuvered through the foliage of the forest and headed for the camp he had made thanks to a book on survival he had found in the trash can. Thanks to Kami, he had secretly learned to read and write by spying on the classes that all the kids, except for him obviously, took to learn to read and write. At just the age of 5, Naruto had known more than most kids his age and would probably survive longer than any of them if they were left to die on an island or something. He sat down on a tree stump he called a chair and compensated what to do next when he heard his stomach growl and quickly decided to get some food. The village was out of the question, as he was probably going to get beaten for even getting near someone, let alone asking for food. Could he try to steal some? No. If he was caught, he couldn't imagine what they would do to him. Then that left looking for something in the wild. He got up and walked around the forest, looking for anything that might be considered food. While continuing his search for food, he had stumbled upon what looked like a secret entrance to something, and being the curious boy he was, he jumped into the hole. He could have landed better considering landing face first isn't exactly what someone would like. Naruto stood up and wiped dust off of his knees and looked around the large room he appeared to be in. He walked around and looked at the things in here and noticed the door, so he decided to continue to look for more stuff that was probably in the other side of the door. He opened the door, causing a loud, creaking noise to echo throughout the room, which made him wince, but he continued until the door was fully opened. As soon as he stepped in through the door, many torches aligning the wall began igniting, making it easier for Naruto to see. He walked down the hallway and into a room which contained many books and scrolls. He skimmed through the many books and noticed one that stood out. It was relatively small, easily smaller than any of the other books that were in the room. He pulled out the book and opened to see a diary-like book. He read through it with the knowledge he had. It talked about this new Kekkei Genkai that allowed the user to have complete control of candy. Well, that's lame. Control over candy. Like, that would be useful for a ninja. Anyways, let's keep reading. Maybe there would be something interesting in here. Let's see. To confirm you have this, speak aloud these 3 words. Rocky mint chocolate. If the speaker of these words begins to have a sudden craving for candy and begins eating a chocolate that appears out of nowhere, then that person has this Kekkei Genkai. Naruto chuckled slightly. This is stupid. Naruto said as he took a bite from a chocolate bar that appeared out of nowhere in his hands. Naruto looked at his hands in shock and then continued to read the diary. We have found a user of this Kekkei Genkai and now have many jutsu for this Kekkei Genkai. Signed, Orochimaru. Wonder who this Orochimaru guy is. He was talking about those jutsu that are used for this Kekkei Genkai. Naruto looked around through the many jutsu scrolls and found the jutsu scroll with label reading candy style, and unrolled the scroll to found many jutsu. Candy style, rock candy shuriken barrage jutsu. As he finished that sentence, one shuriken made of rock candy appeared out of nowhere and dug into the wall. He got up and touched one of them, and it seemed rather harmless. He then saw a rat running around and threw it at the unsuspecting rat, and was surprised when the shuriken embedded itself into the rat, ending its life instantly. Whoa, that's awesome. It doesn't hurt me because I'm the controller, but anything else practically can't touch it without hurting themselves. Let's see some more jutsu, Naruto said as he ran to the scroll. Do not continue until understanding of chakra control, was what Naruto read in bold letters as he looked at the other jutsu. What's chakra? Maybe one of these scrolls has any info about it. Naruto said as he read the different titles for the scrolls until he stumbled upon a scroll that read, Chakra Control for Beginners. He opened the scroll and began to read what it said. Chakra is a requirement for ninjas to perform jutsu. Chakra is the result of molding spiritual energy and physical energy in the body, forming chakra. That's interesting. What's next? Naruto said as he continued to read. Molding chakra involves the extraction of energies from both the body's cells and the mind's consciousness, then mixing them together within the individual. The amount of each energy will differ based on the type of technique the ninja wishes to execute. In other words, a ninja could create too much or too little chakra for a given technique, resulting in the chakra being used inefficiently. In addition, even if a ninja is able to mold the correct amount of chakra, if they cannot manipulate the chakra properly, the desired technique will not be as effective or will not execute at all. Wasting energy will also create weaknesses like early exhaustion, which would hinder the ninja's capacity to fight long-term battles. General training methods for improving one's molding and manipulation of chakra are the leaf concentration, tree climbing, and water walking exercises. That's a lot to take in, but I should get started. I'll become a ninja, become strong to protect myself and those I care about. That'll show them. Naruto shouted confidently as he began the leaf concentration technique by going outside, gathering leaves, and going back inside. Focus your spiritual and physical energies. Mold them together and concentrate the chakra to my forehead. Then put a leaf on my forehead and stick it by focusing. Okay, got it. Now let's get started. Naruto began the exercise, completely forgetting about his hunger and also forgetting that he can't really make chakra. Hey, it looked easier on paper. He then continued this for about an hour when he completely mastered the exercise, letting him stick leaves to his body on instinct and not focusing on it as much. Now that he could properly use chakra and planned on controlling even more with the other exercises until it was perfect, he didn't want to stop learning jutsu from scroll. So with complete mastery over chakra, he wouldn't have to stop for the warnings. He tried tree climbing, but had to try for about 2 hours because he kept blasting himself off the tree. But soon he got the hang off it, and in a couple more minutes, he could climb trees without even having to think about. Then it struck him, hunger and fatigue. He had worked himself to hard. He needed food and some rest. So he decided to try and catch some fish, which luckily he manages to get 4 off and cook them over a fire, then eating them in satisfaction. The blonde looked at the hole and decided to keep it hidden. It would be a new place for him, maybe something he could call home. He covered it up with some twigs and leaves, remembering the path there, and went to his little camp to fall asleep. 8 hours later, Naruto woke up with a groan and got up slowly. He remembered what happened yesterday, but forgot where it was. So he ran up the tree and stood atop before spotting a bundle of leaves and twigs and jumped from tree branch to tree branch until he reached the area of his new base. Jumping off the tree, he removed the twigs and leaves before going inside. He passed by a room he hadn't noticed on his way to the one with the books and scrolls. He went inside and saw many weapons ranging from Tanto all the way to a ninjato. He inspected the weapons until he stumbled upon a candy cane-like staff, a slash-in. Just imagine Yagura's staff, but with candy cane colors and no flower. He picked up the staff and found it surprisingly light despite its large appearance. He decided to try and use this. It could help him as a ninja. He looked around some more and spotted some items that looked to be of interest. Picking up a piece of paper by them, he read aloud, "Ninja weights. Well, that's cool, but these look like dash." Naruto never finished his sentence as he dropped the weights in a giant crash as soon as he tried to pick them up. He read the letter some more. Although these weights may look light, they are extremely heavy, used mainly for training to increase speed and power. First pour chakra into weights, decreasing the weight. Then strap onto legs and wrists and stop flow of chakra, increasing weight. Well, it's worth a shot, Naruto said, leaning the staff against the wall and pouring chakra into them before strapping them onto his arms and legs and stopping the flow of chakra and bracing himself. Crash! Naruto laid on the floor and groaned as he forced his muscles to move until he stood up. However, it was taking all of his willpower to keep himself standing. He poured a little chakra into the weights, decreasing slightly, but enough for him to stand up without much of a struggle. He grabbed the staff and slowly made his way over to the scrolls and book room to grab the chakra control scroll and climb out the hole with quite a struggle. When he stood outside, he decided to try to run and get accustomed with the weights. He decided to stop the flow to the weights, bringing him down to his knees, but his willpower to become strong and be able to protect himself kept him from staying down, and he began training. He started by pacing around, which then turned into a light jog, a normal jog, a sprint, and then a full outrun. What he didn't know was that a certain fox was having a hard time keeping Naruto's bones from breaking and dissolving from all the pressure. Oh, how pissed he was right now. Naruto finally stopped, exhausted. He was proud of himself, barely 5 years old, and looked what he had accomplished. Although it was thanks to a certain fox. He got hungry and saw a bunny in the distance and decided to try out one jutsu he was sure he could do. Candy style, rock candy shuriken barrage jutsu. Naruto shouted, and now, instead of just one shuriken, for appeared this time and shot at the bunny, which died instantly. He picked up the rabbit and took it into the hole and went to what he nicknamed the weapons room and took a knife to an empty table. Now, if he remembered correctly for him what that guy did, you skin the rabbit by taking off the fur and skin, then cook the meat. At least he was pretty sure that's how he did. For the next 30 minutes, Naruto had skinned and cooked the rabbit, which he ate delightfully. It tasted weird at first, probably because he didn't clean the blood, but after he got used to it, it tasted quite good if he said so himself, he thought with a smile. He was a little bit drowsy and ended up sleeping while cleaning up the mess right on the floor. 9 hours later, Naruto awoke and looked at his surroundings, only to see he was still in his new base. He decided to finally try the water walking exercise, but opted to keep the weights off, which made him feel lighter and more faster than before. It also made his wrists and arms feel lighter as well, and when he tried punching, his arm moved swiftly instead of weighed down. It took him a while to get accustomed to his new speed and the strength of his arms, but when he did, he left the hole and headed for the nearest lake. The blonde reached in his pocket for the scroll in his pocket and began reading the instructions. This exercise is similar to the tree climbing exercise, although a bit harder since the water is constantly moving, making you have to keep a steady stream, but make sure to go with the flow of the water. Sounds easy enough, Naruto said as he began to push chakra to his feet and walking towards the water. Splash! Naruto ran out of the water drenched, his old white t-shirt and old black shorts soaking from the splash. Amon, I forgot I'm going to need more clothes for when I become a ninja. But I guess for now I'll deal with this. Naruto said as he took off his shorts and shirt, leaving him in only his boxers, and continued the exercise. After a gruesome 5 hours of falling into the lake, Naruto put his slightly wet clothes on and decided to take a lunch break by doing the same as yesterday, except this time he got a deer with a rock candy shuriken, resulting in a large feast which he gladly enjoyed. After his plentiful meal, he put his weights back on and grabbed his staff, which he had left next to the hole, and jumped into the hall to exploring the base some more. Naruto went into the library and, out of boredom, began to look through the books until he found one that interested him. Stealth and Assassination. Naruto thought about it and decided to read the book since, from what he knew, ninjas were usually stealthy and he never knew when and if he had to assassinate someone. One of the basic forms of stealth involve minimizing someone's chakra to a level where sensors cannot detect you by your chakra. Well, that's a good start. Okay, minimize my chakra. Got it. Naruto said as he began to try and control his chakra and minimize it. Coincidentally, he didn't concentrate enough, resulting in a large explosion of chakra, and sent him flying towards the wall and crashing right through the cement. His weights didn't help one bit as he fell onto the floor unconscious. Naruto's mind. Naruto woke up and looked around his surroundings, only to finally notice that he was in a dark sewer, which surprisingly didn't smell horrible like he expected a sewer would smell. He stood up and began to walk around. Had someone thrown him in here? But that would mean someone must have found his new base. Crap, that wasn't good. He needed to get out of here. He finally found somewhere he could consider a home, and he wasn't going to let someone take it. He started running around the sewer and surprisingly felt lighter. Did they take off his weights too? Naruto stopped running and began to walk in a random direction. But it wasn't him moving his body was moving on its own. His body stopped in front of what looked like a giant cage. Suddenly, a giant red slit eye appeared looking directly at Naruto, causing him to jump back in surprise. Naruto, we finally meet. Has the jailer decided to visit the prisoner? Who are you? Naruto asked, afraid of the amounts of hate, anger, and killing intent. A slashing. Naruto doesn't know what KI is yet. Who am I? Why, I'm a mighty nine-tailed demon Fox Kurama. Shit, I said my real name, didn't I? Forget you heard. I have something to discuss with you, Naruto. What? But I thought the fourth Hokage killed you. Naruto gasped with wide eyes. Had the information he had gotten from the third Hokage been wrong? No, the old man wouldn't lie to him, right? Anyway, I want to help you on your quest to become a ninja, Kurama said, staring at Naruto intently. Why would you help me on my quest to become the strongest ninja? Well, I never said it was going to be free. I propose a deal. I'll help you become strong and unbeatable, and in return you let me out of this cage. Huh. I would never do that. I hate a lot of the people here, but I still have some people that I like. The old man and the Ikarakus that care about me. Well, I guess it was worth a shot. Well, then how about you let me see and hear what you do, as well as change this fucking dump you call Mindscape? Oh, and one more thing. If you get the chance to and run into one, you will let me posses a fox and have complete control of it, and let me live life outside for a while. Deal. That sounds easy enough. Okay, deal. Naruto said, staring directly at the eye. Soon the darkness of the cage disappeared and revealed a giant nine-tailed fox behind the bars. Now, first things first, change this landscape into a nice, peaceful forest and then go to sleep. Although you're still young, I'm going to be readjusting your bones and body to make them strong enough and durable for the training that is to come. All right, but how do I change my mindscape? Naruto asked, looking at Kurama in confusion. Just focus on it. Should be easy enough if you concentrate hard, Kurama said, waving its paw in a nonchalant manner. Naruto nodded and focused. Soon enough, he was standing in a large forest with large trees and a lake in the middle. He heard loud rumbling and saw what he thought he would never see. In front of him, Kurama was running around and beginning to destroy the forest, but every time something would be destroyed, it would just rebuild itself. This is acceptable. Now leave and prepare yourself for tomorrow, Kurama said as it fired a large red beam of destruction, destroying part of the forest, but pouted when it rebuilt itself. Then with a smirk it began firing more and more until Naruto decided to leave his mind by forcing himself to awaken. Naruto's new base. Naruto stood up slightly with a little pain on his body, but got up using the candy cane staff as support and took himself to the corner of the room to sit down, deciding to sleep here today instead of the other base and let his eyes shut before his mind wandered. Soon, Naruto woke up and looked around before standing up and grabbing his staff from the ground, only to notice his muscles and bones felt different. He felt stronger, he felt more powerful. He liked this feeling. He would have enjoyed this feeling all day. Emphasis on would have since he was interrupted by the mighty Kurama himself. Get up, brat. It's time for the training to begin, and I'm telling you now, you're going to regret making a deal with a demon. Kurama spoke in a cocky tone. Don't worry about me. I can take anything you throw at me and become strong, and soon I will be able to protect myself from anyone. Naruto said in a cocky tone as well, making the mighty Kurama smile, which Naruto couldn't see because he was in his mind. Sure, brat. Let's see if you can make it out alive. If you do, you're going to be stronger than any other person and demon in this world. Well, except me, of course, Kurama said with a smirk and an air of confidence. All right, let's get started, Kurama. Things to know while reading. Thoughts. Talking. Demon/summon talking. Demon/summon thinking. After 6 rough years of gruesome training, Naruto had learned many things and gained many different powers. He had complete control over his chakra, but was pissed to know now he had to learn to control Kurama's chakra, which he could control up to 4 tails without going completely insane. The blonde had found out more about his Kekkai Genkai and could now perform more jutsu. He could even perform some without hand seals. And to add to that, he could use his candy cane staff, which he called cane, to an above average level and could even make giant spikes of candy cane pop out of the ground when he would slam the cane to the ground. Another thing he figured out was that he had an affinity to every element and could now perform E to B ranked jutsus for every element perfectly. His speed and strength were easily mid-jonin level, maybe even high jonin when he had his weights on. He could also high kage for both speed and strength when off. He had 2 new summoning contracts as well. One was the fox summoning contract that Kurama gave him during training, and the panda summoning contract which he found inside the lair when looking around. His accuracy and velocity when throwing shuriken or kunai made of candy were absolutely perfect, and he would almost never miss. The only way he can see himself missing is if someone could teleport. What Naruto didn't know was that in a cemetery somewhere, a blonde Hokage stirred in his grave. He could cook food for himself, so he no longer needed to eat bad food that he could barely cook, but at the time were delicacies to him. Naruto had also trained himself in stealth and could say his stealth skills were mid-jonin. They could have been higher, but with his massive reserves, it was going to be hard to sneak past a high jonin level sensor. He had used his skill to steal clothes just as he had promised himself when he became a ninja, which he considered himself to be. He now wore a dark blue zip-up hoodie with a green fox head in the back. And thanks to Kurama teaching him how to, he could now seal an infinite amount of items in his hoodie pockets, which although he didn't need to store kunai or shuriken thanks to his Kekkai Genkai, it still came in handy stashing his cane. To complete his attire, he had a red shirt underneath the hoodie and wore black jeans with black ninja shoes. He stood at 4 feet, 9 inches feet, taller than most kids his age. His body was well-toned and well-preserved, making him as healthy as can be for someone that was still 11. Speaking of age, one day he had went to the village for a visit just to see how things were going. Flashback. Naruto was strutting down the streets, receiving glares and hearing murmurs in the crowds. As he was walking, he was suddenly embraced out of nowhere. When he looked up, he saw the third Hokage hugging him. "Oh, Naruto, I thought something had happened to you. Where have you been all this time?" the old man asked, looking at Naruto expectantly. "Crap, what do I do, Kurama?" Naruto asked in his mind. "What do I tell him?" "Just tell him that you have been in the streets after you were kicked out of the orphanage and say you found these clothes in the trash. That should sound believable, especially with that messy hair of yours," Kurama said to Naruto with a sarcastic tone. "Oh, hey, old man, it's been a while. I've just been surviving on the streets after the orphanage kicked me out. Eating food from the trash, and got these clothes when I was looking through it one day." Naruto spoke, faking an expression of sadness, forcing a tear to come out one of his eyes to shed. "Oh my Naruto, how could I have let this happen to you? Don't worry, I'm going to make sure you don't have to experience that again. I know, I'll get you an apartment and send a weekly allowance to you. Do you want to become a ninja, Naruto?" the third said, looking at Naruto with a smile. Is he really using the chance of me wanting to be a ninja to not have to give me a weekly allowance for long? Man, how cheap are these people? Naruto thought sarcastically. That would be awesome, old man. I could become an awesome ninja and one day become Hokage so that people will respect me, Naruto said with a grin while pointing at himself and stomping his foot, lifting dust off the ground. "What's that all about?" Kurama asked Naruto. "It's called acting. This way he won't even consider that I trained for almost 6 years with a giant 9-tailed demon fox." Naruto thought to Kurama. "Genius," Kurama said with a hum. "I know I am," Naruto thought again to Kurama with a mental grin. "Well then, Naruto, I will sign you up for the Ninja Academy, and you will start your classes in 2 months, just as you become 12 too," the third said with a withered grin. "Well, here is a key to an apartment. Enjoy, and make sure you eat your vegetables," the third said with a chuckle before disappearing. Naruto looked at the key and then the address and room number he got with a profound grin. He followed the instructions and arrived at what looked like an abandoned apartment. Again, what is it with people here and being cheap? Naruto muttered to himself before entering. And guess what? No one is in here. What a shocker, Naruto said with a groan. "Well, I got this whole place to myself. First, let's surround the apartment in traps and use seals to make sure no one but me can get in. And then we will go back to base, get everything we can, and set up shop here," Naruto said with a nod and got to work. Present time. Naruto finished pocketing the last of the things he could find and headed for his apartment by jumping from branch to branch, then house to house. A few hours later, the blonde had finished getting everything organized and was incredibly tired. So after he made something to eat, he decided to go to sleep and began thinking things he could do with the months he had before he went to the Ninja Academy. Naruto awoke with a groan as he yawned himself awake. The past 3 months of training to make sure he didn't get beaten or killed had been harsher than before, and he really thought he was going to die during the training instead of something else. He got up and put his shirt, hoodie, pants, and sandals on with another giant yawn before making himself some bacon and eggs he had bought with the first allowance he had received from the old man. After eating, he took a slip of paper he had gotten from the old man to the academy and made his way there by jumping from roof to roof. He jumped off one roof and landed in the front of the school, where he saw a lot of kids with their parents, smiling happily until the parents noticed him and began whispering to them. Naruto sighed at the actions before making his way to the line in front of the academy. "I can't believe they let that demon come to the academy," he heard someone say in the distance. "I know, and it's even worse that the last Uchiha is attending this same year," he heard a different voice say. "Great, Uchiha. Probably some snotty kid that thinks he's all that because he is an Uchiha. Those damn bastards, I still remember what they did to me. I don't hate all of them, but I still hate most of them." Naruto muttered to himself as the line finally disappeared and he was able to enter the academy. He stepped into the class he was supposed to be in and quickly went to the first row, sitting in a chair closest to the window. He looked out the window and began to think, how the hell was the platypus created? Did someone force a beaver and a duck to do it, or something? Did it just appear? Was it natural, or something? What the hell? This thought continued in his mind until he heard footsteps near which snapped him out of his platypus trance. He looked at whoever was coming towards him and saw a boy with black hair that kind of looked like a duck's ass. Stop thinking about the platypus. The boy had onyx black eyes and traditional Uchiha clothing consisting of a navy blue, short-sleeve shirt with a high collar and the Uchiha crest on the back and white arm warmers along with white shorts and black ninja sandals. Naruto just turned away and continued looking out the window, thinking that if it was a duck summoning contract, it would suit him perfectly. The black-haired boy Sasuke just grunted and sat down next to Naruto. Naruto was once again pulled from his thoughts as he heard screaming and looked up to see one girl with bright pink hair, green eyes, a red cheapao dress with white circular designs, tight dark green shorts, and standard ninja sandals. Next to her was a girl with long blonde hair, blue eyes, a short purple vest-like blouse with a raised collar, a purple apron skirt that was cut off on the sides and bandages on her stomach and legs. She also wore purple and white elbow warmers and small silver hoop earrings. He looked at them and noticed that they were screaming at him. Naruto said with a bored face as he looked at them. "I said, how dare you sit next to my dear Sasuke," said the pink one in a loud tone reaching beyond banshee levels. Naruto picked his ears trying to get the ringing noise out before standing up and moving to the seat at the far back, sitting next to window and continuing his ridiculous thoughts. The girl in pink, named Sakura, looked blankly before shrugging and sitting down next to Sasuke. "Oh, Sasuke, now we can be together," Sakura said with a squeal, but was angry when Ino, the blonde girl, sat next to Sasuke and began talking to him as well. Naruto was still thinking, but now he was thinking about some weird shit. If you say you need something, you don't really need it, you just want it, but then they say you need to eat, you don't really need to, it's just recommended. You could just die. What the fuck are you thinking about? Get yourself together, Naruto. All right, class, listen up. Naruto heard someone say. He looked down and saw a man of average height and build, brown hair kept in a ponytail, a scar that ran across the bridge of his nose. He wore the standard leaf shinobi outfit complete with forehead protector, sandals, and a flak jacket. His sleeves were also rolled up about 1/4 of the way. Everyone turned to look at the man. I am Irika Yumino, and this is my assistant, Mizuki. Irika said, gesturing at Mizuki, who had white shoulder-length hair with a slight hint of blue to it and green eyes, wearing the standard attire of the standard leaf shinobi. We both hope that you have a great time during your training as ninja here in the academy, and we both wish you luck. Now, let the classes begin. Irika shouted, making everyone scream joyously. 1 year later, I didn't know whether to skip all of the academy or not, but I decided anyway. Will Naruto Uzumaki please come into the room for testing? Irika shouted, getting Naruto's attention. Naruto nodded before walking towards Irika, who then took him to a room where Mizuki was already at. Irika sat next to Mizuki and began speaking. Naruto, you shall begin your test. Start off with a transformation jutsu. Naruto nodded and made a poor transformation, although enough to pass. You see, Naruto faked his powers in order not to raise suspicion, making him the dead last of the class. Okay, good enough. Next, I want you to try the body replacement technique. Irika says. Naruto once again nodded and formed a hand seal before replacing himself with a log that was placed around the room for the purpose. Perfect. Now for the last jutsu. I want you to perform the clone jutsu, Irika said, looking at Naruto. He knew he was bad at this jutsu. At least that's what he thought. Naruto, do the jutsu wrong. Naruto heard Kurama say, well, it didn't call him brat, so this must be serious. Naruto nodded slightly before pouring a large amount of chakra that could probably restore a whole army of Kages. What resulted was a big cloud of smoke and a poof. When the smoke cleared, there were 2 clones completely white and no signs of life. I'm sorry to say this, Naruto, but you fail. If you can't perform this jutsu, you aren't prepared to be a ninja. You're too old to take another year of classes, but you're going to become a civilian. Irika said with a fake frown when really he was grinning on the inside. See, Naruto and Irika didn't hang out at all, resulting in no bond being formed and a still angry Irika. Naruto frowned slightly before nodding and heading out the door and out of the academy. He passed by a swing, but stopped when he heard a voice. Naruto, I'm sorry you failed. He looked up and saw Mizuki standing on a branch. It's okay, Mizuki-sensei, it's fine, Naruto said with a fake smile. What if I told you, Naruto, that there is still a way for you to become a ninja? Mizuki said with a fake smile of his own. Really, Mizuki? Naruto said in an excited tone that could have fooled anyone. Yeah, it's a secret test. Okay, this is all you have to do. 2 hours later. Naruto sighed as he sat down with the scroll in front of him. It had been easy to take the scroll from the old man since he just sneaked by without being spotted by him at all. Had the old man gotten weak? He guessed the old age was finally catching up to him, and soon they would need a new Hokage. All he had to do was make sure the ENBU didn't spot him as well as the Hokage. He was all set, and all that led up to this. Unroll it, Naruto. There are things of interest in this scroll. Naruto heard Kurama's voice. He nodded and unrolled the scroll and began reading its contents. Soul Absorption Jutsu. After the hand seals are performed, the user absorbs the soul of the target, receiving the memories and skills the target had. Warning: consumes large amounts of chakra, only for Kages with large reserves, and even then, perform with precaution. Just 2 hand seals? That's easy. Let's try this one first. Naruto said as he remembered the hand seals and spotted a wolf. He did the hand seals and shouted, "Soul absorption jutsu." The wolf fell limp on the ground, and soon Naruto was flooded by the memories of it. What shocked him, though, was that he didn't feel tired at all. Had it not taken a lot of chakra, like it said? Or were his reserves that big? Well, that'll come in handy. What's next? Naruto said as he sat back down in front of the scroll. Shadow Clone Jutsu. The user distributes chakra between clones, making them real embodiments instead of illusions. Clones can only survive one hit, and poof, as soon as hit. Warning: use with precaution as it consumes a lot of chakra, and usually only used by Kages. Only 1 hand seal? Sounds easy enough. And what's with all these warnings anyway? Naruto said as he crossed his fingers, "Shadow, clone jutsu." He shouted, and soon a clone of Naruto appeared next to him. Wow, it worked, Naruto said before punching the clone, causing it to go out in a poof of smoke. Let's see what's next, Naruto said. And so, with that, he mastered all the techniques, even though he was only given 30 minutes. Naruto looked up at the calling of him name. He saw Irika with a very angry look. How dare take the scroll of seals? Oh, you're going to get a demon. Irika shouted. What did he call him? A demon? So he was a demon then? Well, demons are known for killing and destruction. So if I'm a demon, what's stopping me from tearing this idiot's brains out? Naruto's eyes were covered by his hair, casting a looming dark shadow. Arika, get out of there. The demon's going to get you, Mizuki shouted from the trees. Soul possession jutsu. Naruto muttered to Lo for anyone here and did a single hand seal. Mizuki jerked before reaching toward his back for one of the giant shurikens and throwing it directly at the unsuspecting Irika, who was staring at Naruto with a small amount of fear. At the last minute, Irika turned around and saw the giant shuriken flying towards him before it decapitated him, causing blood to go in every direction. Naruto stopped possessing Mizuki's body and quickly made hand seals before whispering soul absorption jutsu. Mizuki's body went limp and fell of the tree he was standing in and landing on the floor. Soon after, the Hokage suddenly arrived and saw a decapitated Irika and a lifeless Mizuki. Naruto? What happened here? The third said in shock, looking at Naruto with wide eyes. Mizuki set me up. He told me if I got the scroll, he would pass me, and I could become a ninja, but when Irika found me, Mizuki threw a giant shuriken at Irika, who wasn't paying attention. Then Irika did some weird jutsu that killed Mizuki, and he died too. Naruto said with fake tears. Lies, how many times had he lied? Was it because he was a demon? Maybe something else, but the old man had lied to him too. So, does that mean he's a demon too? Why did Naruto have to go through this at such a young age? He has already lost his innocence. Oh, what would you do, Minato, if you saw your son like this? The third thought with a sigh. Should I promote him as a genin, or take him out of the ninja career? The third thought again, beginning to get stressed. Old man, can I still become a ninja? Naruto said, looking at the Hokage while hugging the scroll. Yes, Naruto, you will be assigned to a team tomorrow at team assignments. I expect you to be there by 8 o'clock. Here is your headband, the Hokage said as he took Irika's headband and gave it to Naruto. Again, what is it with this village and its cheapness? I swear, Naruto thought, mentally face palming before nodding to the third before running off to the forest. I hope I made the right decision, Minato, the third said with a sigh before signaling ANBU to get the bodies. A different beginning. Naruto arose from his bed and glanced at the clock he had in his room and groaned when he saw it was 7:32 in the morning and quickly got up. After he got up and took a nice relaxing shower, he got dressed and made eggs and toast for breakfast, remembering he would have to earn money on his own if he wanted to eat like this every morning now that he was a ninja. He picked up the dirty headband he had received after the whole ordeal the day before and tied it around his left arm. Naruto concentrated before disappearing in a pool of chocolate and reappeared in the front of the school. Thanks to the mini jutsu he had learned from back at the lair he used to live in, he could perfectly perform the body flicker technique and made his own variation he called the chocolate body flicker. The blonde-headed boy walked inside and automatically went to the room he had been in for about a year after he had started the academy and sat down in the far back seat. He had arrived 10 minutes early, so no one was there, and decided to look out the window like he always did. That was until someone began nudging him. Hey, Naruto, what are you doing here? I thought you failed the exam, he heard someone say. He glanced to his right and saw who he had come to know as Kyūbi. Kyūbi had messy brown hair, sharp black eyes with vertical slit-like pupils, pronounced canine teeth, and the distinctive red fang markings of the Inuzuka clan on his cheeks. Kyūbi's attire consisted of dark grayish pants reaching to his calves and a gray, hooded fur-lined coat, with the hood usually placed on his head, and a blue forehead protector and blue sandals. Suddenly, a little white puppy with squinted eyes, a dark brown nose, dark brown patches on his ears, and dark brown outlining its mouth, came out of Kyūbi's jacket and poked its head out. Don't you see the headband tied to my arm? Naruto said, pointing at the dirty blue headband tie to his arm. Well, yeah, but everyone said that you failed the exam. So how did you get the headband? Kyūbi asked, looking curiously at Naruto. It's a secret. All you have to know is that I'm a ninja now, Naruto said with a shrug, turning away from Kyūbi in a manner that clearly said go away. Kyūbi scoffed and walked away, which caused Naruto to give a sigh of relief. He really didn't like dealing with people. They were such a pain, and only a few actually got on his good side, and those few people he liked and he would protect at all causes. Well, unless they betray him, then they will be shown no mercy. Naruto remained seated for a little while longer, and soon enough, the classroom was filled with all the new-to-be ninjas. All right, students, I will be assigning you to your new teams, a man with dirty black hair said as he entered the room wearing the normal Chunin leaf ninja attire. What happened to Irika-sensei? Sakura shouted in a rather high voice, causing Naruto to flinch at the intensity. Well, Miss, here we go. Well, Miss Haruno, Irika sadly died while on a mission. the man said, causing everyone to gasp. Well, all except Naruto. Then that's the cover. Simple, yet it's still good. Nice job, old man. Naruto thought in his mind with a smirk. Anyway, now I will start naming the teams. All right, Team 1 consists of... The teacher began assigning, but Naruto didn't pay attention. Team 7. The team will consist of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Hino. A loud, yeah, was heard after the mentioning of Sakura's name, as well as a groan. And Naruto Uzumaki, your team leader will be Kakashi Hitaki. The teacher concluded. Naruto groaned aloud. So, I'm stuck with the fangirl and the emo Uchiha. Great, just my luck. Hitaki, you better be a good sensei because these two are dead weight. Naruto thought with displeasure. Teammate will consist of Shino Aburame, Kiba Inuzuka, and Hinata Hyuga. Your sensei will be Kurenai Yuhi, the man up front announced after. Naruto looked down and saw the 3 that were nominated. Kiba, a pretty good fighter and might be good at tracking if taught correctly. Next was Hinata Hyuga. Hinata had dark blue hair and fair skin, with white eyes which he knew were the Byakugan. Her clan's Kekkei Genkai, head in her hair, was in a short, leveled Heim-cut style just above her forehead, with chin-length strands framing her face. She wore a cream-colored hooded jacket with a fire symbol on the upper right and left sleeves, and fur around the cuffs and hem, with navy blue pants, and she also wore her leaf headband around her neck. His eyes then fell on Hinata. He knew Hinata a little bit because of an encounter he and her had on his first day here. Flashback. Naruto was sitting on his favorite swing when he saw a little girl he knew was named Hinata being bullied by 3 kids because of her eyes, which he found kind of idiotic since most Hyugas would have literally beat the crap out of them. But she was different. She didn't fight back, but instead stood there and asked for them to stop. That's when one of them got ticked and aimed a punch at her. In a way, she was like him when he was young. She probably didn't do anything wrong, and she was just a little different than everyone else, but was still considered a freak. He wouldn't stand for it, and soon was in front of the boy who was going to punch her and took the punch to the cheek. Hinata's eyes widened, and she fell back in surprise. No one had ever helped her, and she didn't even know this boy who just did. Did her father send him? He didn't look like a Hyuga, and even if he was, she doubted he would, considering her father was mean man ever since her mother died. But standing in front of her, there was a boy who she didn't know, taking a punch for her. Why? Because no one should suffer over something they have no control of. Naruto announced, shocking Hinata. Now, you 3 are going to suffer, Naruto said in a low, menacing tone. Oh yeah? What's a little kid like you going to do? Someone said, who he assumed to be the leader of the group. This was the last thing the kids heard before they were unconscious and laying sprawled on the floor. Are you okay? Naruto asked as he walked towards Hinata. Why yes, thank why you. Hinata stuttered out as she grabbed the hand Naruto had outstretched for her. Good, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you, Naruto said, not noticing that he opened up to her a little bit too much and broke out of his serious facade. Hinata H. Hyuga, thank you, Naruto, for helping me, Hinata said, stuttering less than usual. Hinata-sama, are you all right? A man shouted as he ran towards Hinata, but stopped once he noticed who was with her and the kids' unconscious bodies on the floor. "What are you doing here, you demon?" "Hinata-sama, get away from him immediately," the man shouted as he grabbed Hinata's hand and quickly walked away with Hinata in tow. Hinata looked back and saw Naruto's eyes covered by his hair, which gave him a dark appearance, then walk away. She felt guilty, but kept walking with her bodyguard. Naruto controlled his anger and just walked away. You should be used to it, but then why does it still hurt on the inside? He shook his head and continued on his way. "Just forget about it, Naruto. It doesn't matter," Naruto muttered to himself. In flashback, it wasn't exactly the most pleasant of memories, but hey, what are you going to do about it? From what he knew of the Byakugan, it was also good for tracking, and their clan's fighting style was mostly offensive but could also be good as defense, so that was good. Next was Shino. Shino was fair-skinned and the tallest person in the class. He had dark, bushy, brown hair and was sporting the same dressing style as the rest of the people he had seen from his clan, consisting of dark sunglasses and a sea green jacket with a high, upturned collar. Naruto really didn't know much about Shino. He was quite a mysterious fellow and almost never talked. He knew about the Aburame clan's techniques and knew they required bugs, which he saw Shino talk to every day. He knew his clan's bugs could be used for tracking, maybe even interrogation. All in all, this team will probably become a tracking team, and a pretty good one at that. Next, Team 10. The team will consist of Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, and Choji Akimichi. Your Jonin sensei will be Asuma Saratobi. Another Ino Shikacho trio. They should do well. Shikamaru needs to lose that laziness. Ino needs to stop being a bitch. And Choji, well, Choji is sort of all right. He just needs to do more training, and that's another good team. All good teams, they just need improvement, but what was he stuck with? A loud bitch of fangirl and an emo Uchiha who will probably turn on the village just to get his revenge. They were both naive. Man, how is he going to deal with all this? Time skip, 2 hours. Naruto was angry. No, he was completely exasperated. All the other Jonin senseis had already picked up their pupils. All except Kakashi Hatake. He was 2 hours late, and Naruto wasn't happy about that. He silently walked to the supply room they had and got a bucket. Candy style, chocolate waterfall jutsu. He muttered and lowered down the amount of chakra he poured into it to decrease the amount of melted chocolate that would fill the bucket. He picked up the bucket and walked to the door, where he put the bucket in a position in which when the door is opened, the bucket will fall, spilling the contents of the bucket on the victim. Naruto laughed maniacally as he waited patiently for his new sensei to open that door. He heard the door slide open and grinned when the bucket fell and poured all the chocolate on the head of a silver-haired man wearing the standard Jonin uniform with metal-plated gloves. He also wore a hidden leaf forehead protector on a simple blue band, tilted to the left to cover his left eye, and a mask which obscured the lower half of his face. Naruto covered his mouth with his hands and tried to hold in his laugh. "My first impressions, I don't like you," Kakashi said with a bored expression on his face as he felt some chocolate in his mouth. "Tasty, meet me on the roof of the academy," Kakashi said and disappeared in a poof of smoke. "Naruto, you got our new sensei mad at us," Sakura shouted as she reared her fist back and shot it forward, expecting to feel impact, but instead got her hand covered in chocolate as Naruto performed his chocolate body flicker. Sasuke and Sakura stared in shock at the position Naruto used to be in. How could he do that? That technique was similar to the one Kakashi used, which means it's probably a high-level technique. So why does Naruto know it? Sasuke thought as rage began building up inside of him, but shook it off and got up. Sasuke began walking and exited the room, quickly followed by a certain pink-haired banshee. Academy rooftop. Kakashi waited patiently for his students and expected it would take them a while to reach the top. That's why he was surprised when Naruto appeared in front of him without warning. And Naruto, how did you get here so fast? Kakashi said as he pretended to be calm. A simple body flicker technique, the same one you used. Naruto said calmly with a shrug as he noticed Kakashi wasn't covered in chocolate anymore. That's strange. How did he clean himself up so fast? Naruto thought as he stared at Kakashi intently, who was looking at him with a poker face. Naruto whirled around when he heard panting and footsteps. He in turn saw Sakura panting heavily and a frowning Sasuke. Naruto, how do you know that technique? Sasuke said with an angry tone. Yeah, Sasuke doesn't know it, and Sasuke is stronger than you. So why do you know it? Sakura shouted. I have my secrets, and you don't need to know them. Naruto said in a calm tone before sitting down a few feet away from Kakashi. Anyways, now that we're all here, introduce yourselves, state your dislikes, hobbies, and dreams. Kakashi said, knowing what would have happened had he not interfered with a fuming Sasuke and an angry Sakura. Can you go first, Kakashi-sensei, so we know how to do it ourselves? Sakura said while raising her hand. Okay, my name is Kakashi Hitaki. I have likes and dislikes. I have many hobbies, dreams for the future, don't have one. Kakashi said in a bored tone. All we got was his name, Sakura thought as her eyebrow began twitching. Okay, since you asked, Pinky, you go first. Kakashi said as he pointed at Sakura. Well, my name is Sakura Hirano. My likes, well, the person I like is, she said and began giggling while giving glances toward Sasuke. My dislikes are Ino Pig and Naruto, she shouted. What did I do to her? Oh wait, now I remember. Yeah, no wonder she hates me. Naruto thought as he cringed slightly. My hobbies are. She once again began giggling and glancing at Sasuke, who was oblivious to what was happening. And my dream for the future is. Once again, she began giggling. Okay then, next is you, Blondie. Kakashi said, pointing his finger in Naruto's direction. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like food, the people I trust, and foxes. I dislike people who hate others for something they have no control over, and people who give up and don't try. My hobbies consist of training and getting stronger, and my dream for the future is to make everyone who wronged me pay. Naruto says calmly, although Sakura and Kakashi were giving him strange looks. All right, Duckbutt, it's your turn, Kakashi said, pointing and staring at Sasuke. I knew I wasn't the only one that noticed it. Naruto thought as he nodded to himself humorously. Sasuke grunted and began speaking. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I hate a lot of things and don't really like anything. My dream dash, know my ambition, since I will make it a reality, is to restore my clan and kill a certain someone. He said with a serious expression. Just as I thought. Kakashi thought to himself. Sasuke is so hot. Sakura thought with a light blush appearing on her face. Must be that whole thing with the Uchiha clan massacre I heard about. Naruto thought as he looked at Sasuke intently. He knew he would become a threat later on. Good. Now that introductions are over, I would like to inform you that our first mission starts tomorrow. Kakashi stated. What kind of mission is it going to be, Kakashi-sensei? Sakura asked intently. It is going to be a mission we're going to do together. It's going to be a survival test. Kakashi said, shocking Sakura and Sasuke, while Naruto was unfazed as he predicted since the academy test was so simple and easy. But Kakashi-sensei, we already took the academy test, so why are we having another one? Sakura asked. Well, this isn't like your normal test. You see, of the 27 graduates, only 9 will be accepted as genin. Kakashi said, surprising Sakura, Sasuke, and even Naruto a bit. Naruto expected something like this would happen. The academy test was too easy. If all the people who passed the academy test were to become genin, not only would it soil the Hidden Leaf's reputation, but get many people killed as well. But then what was the academy test for? Sakura retorted. That was only to see who could become graduates. Kakashi said with an expression that sent shivers down everyone's spine. What's up with him? Naruto thought to himself. I'll make the rules now, so be prepared for tomorrow. Meet me at Training Ground 7 at 7 o'clock sharp. Oh, and don't eat breakfast or else you'll puke. Kakashi stated as he jumped to the railing. Naruto ignored Sakura's shocked reaction and disappeared in a chocolate body flicker. Naruto's apartment. The blonde-haired ninja appeared inside his apartment and immediately went to the small kitchen to begin making some food. Why would he tell them not to eat? If they didn't eat, they wouldn't be at their full power. Well, he was going to ignore Kakashi's orders. After all, puking isn't that bad, except the smell and taste. He erased that thought and finished cooking and noticed it was his last supply of food, so he only ate half and saved some for tomorrow by putting another plate over it. He then went to his room and began taking off his clothes, leaving him in only boxers before laying on his bed and dozing off. 6:30 a.m. Naruto awoke with a light yawn before getting up and picking up all his clothes. He made his way to the bathroom and took a quick shower, which he was surprised he could do with the crappy condition of the apartment building. He dried up with an old towel he found in some cabinets he saw and put on his clothes. He walked to the kitchen and ate the leftovers from yesterday night. Naruto glanced at the clock and saw it was 6:47 and quickly body flickered to the nearest training ground. 5 minutes later. Ah, here we go, Training Ground 7. Naruto said as he walked into a field and noticed both Sakura and Sasuke were already there. He waited a while, quite a distance away, and could tell they hadn't noticed him, so he decided to set up some traps since he knew it was going to be a survival test. Can't be too prepared, can you? Naruto eventually finished and noticed the sun was rising, but there was still no sign of Kakashi anywhere. Suddenly, Naruto sensed a strong chakra signature in the area and knew Kakashi was in the area, so he jumped from the tree he was on to where Sakura and Sasuke were. Sasuke immediately jumped into a battle position while Sakura screeched, and jumped back only to trip and fall on a rock. Sasuke relaxed when he saw who it was that jumped towards them. Naruto, Sakura screamed. Naruto felt danger incoming and quickly jumped back to the surprise of Sakura, who fell once again after the failed punch. Sakura was about to run at Naruto when Kakashi came walking out of the shrubbery. "Hey there," Kakashi said nonchalantly. "You relate," Sakura shouted. "Well, a black cat happened to cross so I had to take the long way," Kakashi said with a smile. "Sound like a load of crap to me," Naruto thought as he looked at the smiling Kakashi. "Anyway, let's get started," Kakashi said as he walked towards an alarm clock that he could have sworn wasn't there before. "This clock is set until noon. That's all the time you're going to have to take these bells away from me. A pretty simple task," Kakashi said as he held out 2 bells. "If you can't get these bells before noon, you will not get any lunch and be tied up to those poles over there," Kakashi stated as he gestured to 3 wooden poles in the distance. "And you will watch as I eat my lunch in front of you," Kakashi said with a smile. "This guy's insane," Sakura thought. "That's sadistic, and that's coming from someone who trained with the strongest of the tailed beasts for a couple of years," Naruto thought with a slight shiver going down his spine. Sasuke only huffed. "Yep, all he did. Fucking shocker, isn't it?" "Wait a minute, Kakashi-sensei. Why are there only 2 bells if there is 3 of us?" Sakura stated as she pointed at the bells Kakashi was holding. "Because then at least one of you will end up tied to the pole and will ultimately fail for not being able to complete the mission, and that person goes back to the academy," Kakashi once again said to the shock of most of the team, and by most I mean only Sakura. "You can use any weapons including shuriken and kunai, as well as anything in your arsenal," Kakashi said seriously. "But Kakashi-sensei, won't you get hurt?" Sakura asked. "Really, Sakura? He's a high-class jonin. Some simple shuriken and kunai won't hurt him too much," Naruto stated with a smirk Kakashi noticed and knew was a smirk that clearly was a challenge. "When I say start, you can begin," Kakashi stated. "Ready, set, start," he shouted. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto immediately jumped to nearby trees. "Won't this be fun? Right, Naruto? A different beginning." "Ready, set, begin," Kakashi shouted. Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto immediately jumped to trees. "Won't this be fun, right, Naruto? All right, how to do this? A frontal assault, maybe. Well, you know what they say, don't knock it till you try it right." Naruto hopped from the trees and landed in front of Kakashi, who was idly reading a book. He was about to begin his attack, of course, until he noticed Kakashi was reading. It wasn't that he was reading that was much of a shock. It was what he was reading. Is that the exclusive limited edition Ica Paradise, with not only Jiraiya's signature, but also the secret cutout scene? Naruto immediately shouted. The only word that escaped Kakashi's mouth was a huh, before Naruto snatched his book and began scanning the pages. Not again. Kurama sighed inside Naruto's mind. Kakashi stared at Naruto as he saw the boy flip through the pages while giggling, as well as a light blush on his face. He suddenly took back the book and stated in a childlike manner, "It's my book. Get your own." Well, that was the wrong thing to say, because Naruto became enraged and began an onslaught of attacks with his fists and feet. Kakashi thought he could dodge all his hits, but he had to start blocking them with all his strength. These punches are stronger than guys when he has his weights on, maybe even stronger without them. Kakashi thought as he dodged one of Naruto's punches. Kakashi did a substitution jutsu and appeared a couple of yards away. Naruto punched the log Kakashi substituted with, causing it to shatter into many pieces. Guess I lost myself for a bit. Sorry, Kakashi. Naruto said nonchalantly with a large grin. What's wrong with him? He's acting like none of that ever happened. Kakashi thought with a sweat drop. Anyway, now that I have control, how about we have a one-on-one spar? Naruto said before suddenly disappearing. Kakashi immediately jumped away, knowing now he couldn't mess with Naruto, so he had to actually try. He sprinted towards Naruto, who sprinted towards him and clashed with an onslaught of punches, kicks, grabs, and all other kind of fighting moves you could think of. After a while, both jumped back, Naruto seeming fine, but the same couldn't be said for Kakashi. He was tired and pretty injured. He got too soft after he became a Jonin instructor, and he really needed to train more, especially if one of his students was about to beat him. Naruto, retreat for now, Kurama said inside Naruto's head. Naruto only nodded before jumping into one of the many trees that surrounded the training ground. Naruto, I don't know if you have noticed, but there's a different purpose to this test. Yeah, I figured it out while fighting him. He wants us to work together. I know because he expected me to try and fight him myself, but was surprised when he saw how strong I was. Yes, that also means that if you three don't work together, you won't be able to become Genin. Fine, I'll go look for the others. I'll try to get them to understand, but if they don't, I'll just have to make them. Naruto said with a smirk as disappeared into the trees. Meanwhile, Sasuke was about to prepare his attack on Kakashi. He had seen what Naruto had just done, thinking about how he was better than Naruto, so he could easily take out Kakashi if he had that much trouble with him. Sasuke, Naruto called as he saw the dark-haired Uchiha. What do you want, Do? Sasuke said cockily as he noticed Naruto. Listen closely. I have a plan, but I need your help for the plan to succeed. Naruto stated. Why should I help a dobe like you? I can take those bells myself. I don't need dead weight like you. Sasuke said with annoyance laced in his words. I don't know if you've figured out Uchiha, but the real purpose of this test is to get us to work together. There are only two bells to try and make each other compete. I want to become a Genin, and I sure as hell don't want to go back to the academy. And to pass, we have to work together. That includes Haruno as well. Naruto stated coldly. I don't need your help, you low stash. Sasuke began saying, but was interrupted when Naruto slapped him across the face. Get this through your fucking head. I'm not playing around, Uchiha. You might think you're the strongest person ever, but you're not. Someone out there is better than you. An example would be Kakashi. We can't defeat him alone. Yes, you can. So if we work together, we can. Do you really think a little academy student who isn't even a Genin yet can beat a Jonin? And not just any Jonin, one of the strongest Jonin in the village. But if we work together, we can. Now, come on. We have to go find Haruno. Naruto signaled for Sasuke to follow. Naruto began sprinting, and Sasuke followed silently. Hokage Tower. How dare he lay his filthy hands on the great Uchiha? Mabuki Haruno, Sakura's mother, who is also a civilian council member, shouted. At the moment, there was a meeting being held with not only the Ninja Council, but the Civilian Council as well. This meeting was being held by the Civilian and some of the Ninja Council, but everyone was forced to attend. One of the unlucky souls that was forced to come here would be the great third Hokage. You see, the Civilian Council as well as some of the Ninja Council wanted to see the great Uchiha take and pass his test, since they no doubt thought that Sasuke wouldn't fail, so they got the Hokage to check on the last Uchiha through his crystal ball. Hokage, how can we allow such filth to hurt the last Uchiha? Koharu Udatain, the third's former teammate and Konoha council member, shouted. Such nonsense shouldn't be allowed, Hiruzen. Hamirmito Kato said roughly. It's a survival test, cut the kid some slack. That Uchiha is stubborn, and I'm pretty sure we know the real meaning of this test. That boy was probably trying to get him to listen. Some Inuzuka said playfully with a smile. Well, yes, but he shouldn't be treating the great Uchiha like that. He is the last of his clan and should be taken care of. Orikana Tawagoto, a civilian council member who controlled many of the popular food markets, stated in a low tone. But just as some said, the Uchiha is stubborn. If that's what it will take for them to complete the mission, then those steps had to have been taken. Shibi Aburame stated calmly with a shrug. But dash. Silence. Hiruzen Tsurutobi, the third Hokage, shouted above all. This discussion is pointless. I will talk to Naruto later. For now, let's continue watching unless you all wish to cancel this meeting. Hiruzen stated. All right, continue, Hiruzen. Hamura said. Training Ground 7. All right, we got the plan. On 3, the operation will begin. Naruto spoke. Sakura ignored him and dreamily looked at Sasuke, who nodded. 3, 2, 1. Naruto started counting down. Go! Sasuke jumped down and landed in front of a reading Kakashi. He started making hand seals and shouted, Fire style, great fireball jutsu. A large ball of flames erupted from Sasuke's mouth as sped towards Kakashi. What is it with this team? First Naruto's punches and kicks, and now Sasuke being able to perform such a high-level fire jutsu without passing out from chakra exhaustion. Kakashi thought as he leaped out of the way. What he didn't notice was that he had stepped on a little paper seal. A loud poof was heard as a giant swamp of hot melted chocolate appeared under him. Some shuriken came out of the trees and missed Kakashi slightly, but hitting Kakashi wasn't the purpose of the shuriken. Kakashi was about to fall right into the chocolate, but quickly substituted himself with something small and shiny he saw a little ways away from him. The bells. Kakashi noticed he didn't have them, and while he looked over at the pool of chocolate, he saw 2 little silver bells falling towards it. Suddenly Naruto erupted from the chocolate and grabbed the bells while looking at the shocked Kakashi with a triumphant smirk. Looks like you lost, Kakashi, Naruto said as he landed on the ground as the pool of chocolate disappeared. Humph! Sasuke grunted as he smirked. Yahoo! Sakura shouted as she thought that she wouldn't be separated from Sasuke. Looks like you got me. All 3 of you pass. Kakashi said with an eye smile. Yes, now we get to do real missions. I can't wait. Naruto said happily. We are now officially Team 7. All three of you are official genin. Meet me in front of the Hokage Tower at 7 in the morning for our first mission. Kakashi said with a smile and wave as he walked away. Missions are going to be so cool. I can't wait. Naruto shouted enthusiastically. Next day, 8 a.m. You know when I said missions are going to be cool? Yeah, I lied. Naruto said as he finished painting a wall. He wasn't happy with the information he acquired at the Hokage Tower. Not one bit. Flashback. Naruto leaped from roof to roof as he headed for the Hokage Tower. He was noticing that he was becoming like his old self. It was good, but not everything was good. He still had to keep his cool. He erased his thoughts when he arrived in front of the Hokage Tower, seeing Sasuke and Sakura were already there, and to his surprise, so was Kakashi. Good, now that we're all here, let's go get our first mission. Kakashi said with a smile as he opened the door to the Hokage Tower and stepped inside with Sakura, Sasuke, and Naruto in tow. Welcome everyone. Are you here for your first mission? A man in a Chunin uniform said. Yes, we are Team 7 and are here reporting for our first mission, Kakashi stated factually. The man nodded and led them to the Hokage's office. The Hokage will be providing you with your mission until we can get someone else for the job since Irik is passing, the man said lightly as he knocked on the door. Yes, they heard a deep voice from the other side. Yes, Hokage, it's me, Kenji. I came here with Team 7. They are here for their first mission, Kenji said loudly to make sure the Hokage heard from the other side. Come in then, the Hokage shouted. Kenji opened the door and signaled with his arm for them to enter. Kakashi, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stepped in through the open door and stood in front of the Hokage. Hello, Lord Hokage. Team 7 reporting for a mission, Kakashi stated formally. Since this is your first mission, you will be given D-rank missions for now, the third stated as he handed Kakashi stated with a big D /N. That's what she said on the scroll. You will be painting the fence of Masayuki Ado, and will all be paid equally unless someone slacks off. Now go. Oh, and Naruto, when you're finished for the day with your team, we need to have a talk, the Hokage stated with a glance at Naruto. All of them nodded and headed out of the building. Flashback end. This is so boring, Naruto stated with a sigh. Deal with it, Naruto. We won't be having any C-rank missions for a while, Kakashi said bluntly. I know, but still, this is possibly the most boring thing I have ever done, Naruto said in a bored tone. And how come you're not doing any work, Kakashi? I thought this was supposed to be a group effort, Naruto said as he stared at Kakashi intently. For hours later, Naruto jumped from building to building, rooftop to rooftop, heading for the Hokage Tower. What did the old man want to talk about? Did he figure something out that could cause trouble? He stopped his thoughts as he ran up the tower with Chakra and entered through the window he had noticed. Hey, old man, what did you want to talk about? Naruto said, shocking the Hokage, who didn't notice he was there. Naruto noticed the third hide something underneath his robes, but chose to ignore it. Well, hello there, Naruto. Please take a seat. Sarutobi said calmly as he pointed toward the chair in front of his desk. Naruto walked towards and sat on the chair as he looked at the old man intently. Naruto, I wanted to talk to you about the survival test. Many people were angry that you hit Sasuke Uchiha. Sarutobi stated calmly. That's what this is about. He deserved it. He's too cocky, and everyone has babied him, and now he thinks he's the strongest person in the world. I just showed him his place, and had I not, we wouldn't be Jinin and Team 7 wouldn't exist. Naruto ended in a bored tone. Well, just don't do it again unless you have to. The civilian council is really angry at you for what you did. Just be careful, all right? I'm sorry I didn't look out for you when you were little, but I think we can both agree it was for the best. Hiruzen stated with a smile. Don't think I don't know about your little secret. I might not know everything, but I do know you've been doing some training under my nose. Hiruzen stated with a smirk. Naruto tensed, but relaxed when he heard he didn't know the full story. Yeah, well, I guess, old man, I'll see you some other time. Stay safe. You're still one of the few people I like. Don't change that. Naruto said with a smile before disappearing. Different beginning. It had been 2 months of torture, 2 months of those disgusting and horrifying D-rank missions. And they were about to get another one. Team 7 reporting for a mission. Kakashi states in a formal tone. Great. Here is another D-rank mission. All you have to do is dash. No, no more D ranks. Please, just give us a C rank. We can handle it, I swear. Naruto pleaded on his knees. He would never plead on his knees, but this was a different situation. He would do anything to stop those horrible D ranks. I don't think we're ready just yet, just a little. Please, Kakashi-sensei, Sakura said in a pleading tone. Sasuke nodded with a grunt. Well, if everyone agrees, Lord Hokage, we would like to request a C-rank mission. Kakashi says, which caused Naruto, Sakura, and even Sasuke to smile. I was waiting for you to ask, the third said with a smile as he pulled out a scroll with a large C on it. You will be escorting Tazuna, a master bridge builder from the land of waves. Hiruzen said as he handed the scroll to Kakashi. Tell Tazuna to come in. Hiruzen shouted. After a while, an audible click was heard and the door opened. A gray-haired, bespectacled man with a large beard and dark eyes stepped through the door. He wore a sleeveless V-neck shirt with an obi, pants, and a pair of sandals, and also carried a towel around his neck with a pointed hat on his head. Tazuna, this is Team 7. They will be escorting you to the land of waves, the Hokage said with a smile as he gestured towards Team 7. These brats are going to escort me? I asked for a strong team, and this is what I get. Tazuna said with a frown. Crash. Tazuna's eyes were wide open as he felt himself impact with the floor, and he gasps as he feels the air escape his lungs. Who are you calling a brat, old man? Naruto said coldly as he pinned Tazuna to the floor. Naruto, don't hurt the client. Kakashi scowled as he pulled Naruto from Tazuna. Anyway, meet at the front gate tomorrow at 8 in the morning. We will start our mission from there, Kakashi said. Everyone nodded and grunted as a response. Kakashi and Naruto used the body flicker technique, while Sakura, Sasuke, and Tazuna exited the building by walking out. Naruto appeared outside his apartment and began crossing his fingers. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto said, and soon 200 poofed into existence. All right, people, here is what we're going to do. Half of you are going to do missions since we need food. The other half will be training. The half that is training will be separated into 4 groups. Naruto began. Half of the 200 nodded and disappeared, ready to begin doing their missions. One group will be training on that technique. 1/4 of the group nodded and disappeared as well. Another group will be working one-handed seals with all the jutsu we know. Once again, a group nodded and disappeared. Next, another group will be creating more jutsu with both our Kekkei Genkai and regular elements. Yet again, a group nodded and disappeared. And finally, the last group will be working on seals, both creating them and becoming faster with them. Naruto finished. The last group nodded and disappeared as well. Now that just leaves me. I'll do some physical training, practice some stealth, and go get me some food because until those clones return, I'm broke and have no money or food. Naruto softly he said to himself before nodding and going to the training ground 7 now that he had free access. The next day, 7 a.m. Naruto ate the last piece of bread from hip plate and jumped up. He body flickered outside of his apartment and waited patiently for his clones. Soon enough, around 100 clones appeared, all with money in hand. All the clones poofed out of existence, and Naruto picked up all the money and stored it into his pocket. Now, the next set of clones, Naruto said as he sat down in a meditating position. Soon an onslaught of memories came to him, and Naruto managed to suppress most of it, reducing the pain and allowing him to get all the memories at once. When he finished sorting through all the memories, he smiled. He had finally mastered that technique, even though he probably wasn't going to use it for a while, but it was a good addition to his arsenal. He got up and began walking to the front gate because, judging by the sun's position, it was about to be 8 o'clock. He enjoyed the scenery and ignored the mutters and glares he received as he continued to walk. Just as he was going to make a turn, he found something that caught his interest. He trotted over to it, and he did promise he would do this for Kurama, so this was a perfect time. Although he felt bad, everyone dies at some point, this creature just died early. Kurama, there's a fox corpse. You want to do what you want to do? Naruto spoke through his mind. Naruto didn't receive a response, and instead felt something leave him, and soon enough the fox began to move. Finally, about time you know. Now I get to walk again, although I'm many times smaller, but I'll get used to it, the fox said with a sly grin. Yeah, but you look beat up. You should probably get cleaned up, Naruto said as he sprayed a small water jutsu, cleaning the dirt and grime. I know I'm not good at it, but it's better than nothing, Naruto said with a shrug as his hand began to glow green and he moved the over Kurama's new body. Anyways, Kurama, am I still going to have your chakra? It is one of my trump cards after all, Naruto asked as he finished the medical technique. Don't worry, you still get to keep my chakra. All I moved into this body was my soul. However, we still have a link, so it's like we were sharing a large pool of chakra, and any one of us can take from it, Kurama said as he paced around, trying to get accustomed to the new body. Well, that's handy. We should get going, though. I have to meet up with the team and the client for the C-rank mission. Are you going to come with? Or you want to roam a bit? Naruto said as he glanced at the pacing fox. I'm going to roam a bit, get a little more cleaned up. Don't worry, I'll catch up to you. I might train this body as well, so I might not be there too soon. So I'll see you later, Kurama said as he disappeared into an alleyway. Well, that's that. It looks like it is about to be 8, so I gotta hurry up. Naruto said as he began sprinting towards the location of the front gate. Soon enough, he was at the front gate with Tazuna, Sakura, and Sasuke already there. Where's Kakashi? Naruto asked, even though he already knew the answer. He's late. He hasn't arrived, and it's almost 8:30 already. Sakura said furiously, completely ignoring the fact that Naruto was late as well. Hey, Kakashi called out with a wave as he appeared. You're late, Sakura shouted. Well, an old lady was crossing the street, so I had to help her, Kakashi said with a shrug. Bullshit, Naruto thought. Anyways, now that we are all here, I think it's about time we headed to the land of waves, Kakashi said as he began walking out of the front gate with Tazuna and the others following closely. As Naruto and the others continued their ways to the land of waves, they passed a small, insignificant puddle. Naruto sensed the chakra in the puddle, and he knew Kakashi did too. And surprisingly, Sasuke did too. However, Sakura and Tazuna were oblivious to what was going to happen. Immediately, 2 people jumped out of the puddle. One had shoulder length, while dark brown hair and dark eyes. He wore a rebreather that covered the lower half of his face and a large clawed gauntlet on his right arm, which, judging by the purple tint, was poisonous. He also had a chain coming out of it that had the other end attached to the other guy's own gauntlet. He wore a camouflage suit with bandages around his waist, dark-colored, knee-length sandals, and a ragged black cape. He wore a forehead protector with a single horn on it. The other guy looked identical to the first guy, the only difference being his forehead protector had 2 horns instead of 1. The 2 quickly launched a chain that wrapped around Kakashi, which they pulled, causing Kakashi to shout before he was split into pieces. Well, that's what most people thought, most except for Naruto, who saw him use the substitution jutsu at the last second. Who's next? They shouted in unison as they charged at Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Tazuna. Sakura was shocked and couldn't help but shout in fear. Tazuna stared with wide eyes, while Sasuke quickly got into a defensive stance. A test, huh? I kind of want to show off, let them know what I'm capable of. All right with you, Kurama? Sure, I'll be there soon. I have a feeling someone else is going to come after them. Sasuke, stay back. Make sure they don't stay close to Tazuna. I'll keep them busy. Naruto shouted as he reached into his pocket and pulled out his cane. Sasuke grunted in reply. He trusted Naruto for some odd reason. He couldn't explain why, but he was sure Naruto could win. You really think you can take us both on by yourself? You're going to regret that, the man with 2 horns on his forehead protector shouted. Naruto raised his staff and slammed it on the ground. A large amount of candy cane spikes rose from the ground at a rapid pace. The 2 brothers barely managed to dodge them. However, Naruto wasn't trying to get them with the spikes. Oh no, he had a different idea. Naruto appeared behind the 2 and grabbed them with his cane. He spun before tossing them into the air. Candy style, candy cane hammer. Naruto shouted as a red and white hammer appeared in his hand. The 2 brothers looked at the hammer and thought the candy hammer wouldn't be able to do anything. Oh, how wrong they were. Naruto slammed the hammer on the two, and they impacted with the ground in a large explosion. Candy style, licorice binding jutsu. Naruto shouted as tendrils of licorice appeared from the ground and wrapped around the two Kirinin. Naruto landed on the ground and stood in front of the two unconscious captives. "Nice job, Naruto," Kakashi said as he appeared beside Naruto. "Kakashi-sensei, you're still alive," Sakura shouted happily. "They actually managed to protect me. What was with that kid and the candy?" Tazuna thought as he began to worry when he noticed Kakashi was eyeing him intently. "What is the meaning of this, Tazuna? We were hired for a C-rank mission. These are Kirigakure Chunin. This already makes this a low to high B-rank mission. We shouldn't be fighting ninja of this level. I pretended to be dead to see who they were after, and they were clearly after you. So why were they after you?" Kakashi stated as he looked at Tazuna, who began sweating buckets. "WLUC, I'm being hunted down by Gato. They were probably someone he hired to come and kill me." "Gato? He is just a shipping magnate. How could he do something like this?" Sakura retorted. "That is just a disguise for what Gato is really doing. He smuggles illegal goods and sells drugs. He also took over our shipping routes and is creating a monopoly by isolating us from other lands. The bridge I am making connects us to the main land, allowing more trade in goods. If I make this bridge, Gato can't do what he wants, and that's why he is trying to kill me." Tazuna finished with a big breath. "I'm sorry, Tazuna, but my students aren't ready to handle something like this. We're going to have to return to the village," Kakashi stated. "No, it's fine. You know, if you go, it doesn't matter. You'll just be letting down everyone in the land of waves, especially my grandson and daughter. My grandson will cry and say, 'Why? Why did you let my grandpa die? Why, oh why?' But it doesn't really matter. My daughter will just have an undying hate for Konohagakure," Tazuna said in a fake sad tone. "Really, it doesn't matter. Hook, line, and sinker." Naruto thought as he saw Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke to feel bad. "We're going Kakashi-sensei," Sakura said with a confident tone. Sasuke nodded. "But Dash, don't worry about it, Kakashi. Or do you not have any confidence in both yours and your students' abilities?" Naruto said as he planted yet another trap. "All right, if the whole team agrees, I guess we can continue the mission," Kakashi said in a defeated tone. "All right, let's keep going. We're close, so we will have to cross a body of water in a boat, but thankfully, one of my friends was brave enough to pick us up," Tazuna said as he began walking. "You guys go on ahead," Naruto began saying. "What's wrong, Naruto?" Kakashi said as he turned back to look at him. "I just got to do something real quick, don't worry. I'll catch up," Naruto said with a wave of his hand. "All right then, be careful. You can never know what's out there," Kakashi said as the rest of the group continued walking, leaving Naruto behind. After Naruto knew they were both out of sight and hearing range, Naruto slowly walked towards the tied-up demon brothers. Suddenly, both woke up and looked at Naruto. "What are you going to do?" Gozu spoke. Naruto didn't say anything and formed two hand seals. "Soul absorption jutsu," Naruto muttered. Gozu and Meizu's bodies went limp. Naruto immediately received all the memories and skills that the two had. Gauntlets, huh? I can make some of candy, remembering that always good to have a new jutsu. Naruto said as he began walking away, leaving the lifeless corpses of Gozu and Meizu. Naruto appeared in front of a waiting Team 7. Good. Now that you are here, we can begin our trip, Kakashi said as he moved out of the way, allowing Naruto to see a man with a boat behind him. Thankfully, one of my old friends is brave enough to take us there, so we will be going on his boat, Tazuna said as he got on the boat. Kakashi gestured for his students to get on. They all got on the boat, eventually with Kakashi being the last one on. The ride was uneventful and quiet as possible. They couldn't talk or use the motor to go faster because then you would be running the risk of someone finding you. It was silent and slow all the way. For some reason, the guy decided it would be a good idea to just bring one paddle. Eventually, they made it on shore with the man, quickly leaving with a, "You better finish that bridge." When they got off the boat, they surrounded Kakashi in a diamond formation with Naruto in the front, Sasuke and Sakura in the sides, and Kakashi in the back. Naruto suddenly stopped. He formed a shuriken made of rock candy and threw into the bushes. A small white bunny came out with a look of horror on its face. "Naruto!" Sakura shouted as she aimed a punch at him, but once again, she missed. "You could have killed the innocent bunny," Sakura shouted. "Shut up," Naruto said coldly. "White fur, definitely raised indoors. It's not cold out, so that would be the only explanation, but what purpose did it serve?" Naruto began thinking. Substitution jutsu, Naruto thought, just as a giant sword came flying through the air. "Get down!" Kakashi shouted as he pushed Izuna to the ground. Sasuke and Sakura dropped on the ground immediately. However, Naruto stood there. The sword barely missed him, but he was far enough from the group to only feel the wind. The sword connected and embedded itself onto a tree. A tall and noticeably muscular man with pale skin, short spiky black hair, brown eyes, and small eyebrows landed on the hilt of the was wearing bandages like a mask over the bottom half of his face. He wore his forehead protector sideways on his head, was shirtless, and his chest only covered by a belt to which he probably attached his to. He was also wearing baggy pants with the striped pattern typical of Kirigakure and mimetic wrist warmers extending up to his elbows with matching leg warmers. Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the bloody mist, Kakashi said as he stood up. This was bad. Although confident in his abilities, there's always the chance. Well, if it isn't Kakashi of a Sharingan, the man now, named Zabuza, said as he turned towards the group. "Stay back. Protect Tazuna. I'll handle him," Kakashi said as he grabbed his headband and began lifting it. "Oh, the Sharingan already? I am quite honored," Zabuza said in a sarcastic tone. "As Sharingan, only Uchiha clan members can get those, and even then, not all of them get the Sharingan," Sasuke thought with wide eyes. Kakashi finished peeling up his headband to reveal a closed eye with a large scar over it. But then he opened said eye. "Sharingan!" Kakashi shouted. His eye was blood red with 3 Tomo-like marks and a small black pupil. "Prepare yourself, Kakashi," Zabuza said, just as a heavy mist set over them. Splosh! A different beginning. "Prepare yourself, Kakashi," Zabuza said, just as a heavy mist set over them. Splosh! Gah! Sasuke gasped. In front of him stood Kakashi, who had just deflected the giant blade from hitting Sasuke. However, Zabuza knew that would happen. That's why he made a water clone to stab Kakashi. But the wet noise didn't come from blood. Oh no, it was the water clone jutsu dissipating. Kakashi eliminated the clones swiftly and began an onslaught of attacks, including taijutsu and ninjutsu, upon Zabuza. Kakashi lowered his guard slightly when he saw a pretty beat Zabuza. That was a mistake. He suddenly heard a swooshing sound and saw the giant sword heading straight for his head. Kakashi was about to perform a substitution jutsu, but stopped when he saw Naruto punch Zabuza away. "You got some guts there, kid," Zabuza said as he stood up and rubbed his belly a little. "That actually hurt you, brat," he said as he got into a fighting stance. "Good job, Naruto, but stand back. You aren't strong enough to fig dash." Kakashi couldn't finish his sentence as he was punched in the gut. "Stay down, Kakashi. You're still tired out. You may have large chakra reserves, but you can't keep fueling that Sharingan forever. You're not an Uchiha, so it takes more chakra than normally, so take a break. Don't worry about me." Naruto looked back at Zabuza. "So, I heard they call you the demon of the bloody mist?" Naruto said in a questioning tone. "You want to know why? All Kirigakure Academy students are required to take a graduation test. The test was to kill all the other students in a free-for-all fight to the death, and the last survivor would pass. People you had grown to know and help. And then you're forced to fight each other? It really didn't matter for me, since I wasn't a student, so I didn't know anyone. So I killed them all. Their blood stained my hands. That's why I'm called the demon of the bloody mist." Zabuza shouted as he ran at Naruto with his large sword in his hand. Naruto stood still. Suddenly, his whiskers deepened and his fingernails enlarged. Even with his mouth closed, you could see new fangs poking out. Just as Zabuza was about to land a hit, Naruto opened his eyes. Zabuza, even for a big-though guy like him, someone that had seen many terrors, was frightened by his eyes. They were blood red with vertical slits for pupils. They seemed to be pulsing with anger. His killing intent, or Ki, was tremendous. Naruto kneed Zabuza in the stomach, causing him to arch forward before he was kicked away by the blonde. "So much for the big talk. What happened, Demon of the Mist?" Naruto said in a cocky tone. Naruto suddenly felt Kurama's chakra disappear from him, as if someone was pulling it. "Sorry, need this for a bit. Why am I apologizing? This is my chakra in the first place." Naruto heard a voice in his head. "Well, looks like I won't be using that. Oh well, I still have other tricks up my sleeve." Naruto reached into his pocket and pulled out Kane. "Why, you're just like Yagura. The tremendous power that's demon-like in every way. That staff looks identical to his, as well as the pulsing eyes." Zabuza whispered to himself. In his point of view, Naruto changed, and soon it wasn't Naruto in front of him, but instead, "Yagura!" Zabuza shouted. Zabuza suddenly had flashbacks of his failed assassination on the fourth Mizukage. The way he treated everyone, the cruel and unfair rules, the bloodline purges. Zabuza's anger began building up, and soon he was enshrouded in a purple demon-like chakra that formed the image of a demon. "Oh, what's this?" You might actually be entertaining. Though it is a bummer that I can't get a power-up like you. Well, what can you do? Naruto said with a smirk as he got into a fighting stance. Zabuza wildly charged at him, becoming very unpredictable. However, Naruto was able to dodge and block most of the attacks, but was hit square in the face by a punch. The training ninja punched Zabuza's head and reared his fist back before delivering another punch to his abdomen. Zabuza grunted. That hurt, but thanks to his anger, he seemed unfazed. He swung his sword and narrowly missed Naruto, but quickly formed a water clone that stabbed the blonde. The sword went right through Naruto and soon exploded in a poof of smoke. Naruto appeared behind Zabuza and grabbed him by the hair and roughly tossed him into the air. Candy style, rock candy shuriken barrage jutsu. Naruto shouted just as dozens of rock candy shuriken appeared out of thin air and shot towards Zabuza. Zabuza brought his sword in front of him and blocked most of the candy shuriken, but was still impaled by the ones his giant sword couldn't block. Zabuza began going through many hand seals, his speed increasing until he finally finished on the bird hand seal. Water style, water dragon bullet jutsu. Zabuza shouted as water began flooding out of his mouth, eventually forming a large water bullet in the shape of a dragon. Candy style, chocolate dragon bullet jutsu. Naruto shouted, only performing one-hand seal. Melted chocolate began coming from Naruto's mouth and formed a giant, brown, liquid dragon. The two attacks met and stayed at a standstill as they each fought for dominance over the other. Eventually, the chocolate dragon overwhelmed the water dragon, causing it to disperse and allowing the chocolate dragon to continue on its way to Zabuza. Zabuza finally landed and managed to dodge the chocolate dragon. Once again, the giant ran at Naruto, who he still thought was Yagura, and swung his sword. Naruto met him halfway with his staff in hand and collided with Zabuza's sword. They stayed at a standstill, each trying to overwhelm the other. Over with Team 7 and Tazuna, they were shocked out of their minds. Tazuna and Sakura were immediately on the floor from the amount of ki. Sasuke was struggling, but managed to keep standing. Kakashi was laying down, although not from the ki, but because of the strong punch he received from Naruto. That kid's just full of surprises, isn't he? Tazuna said in a sarcastic voice. Kakashi-sensei, what's that power? Sakura stuttered. As such power, it's almost like Itachi's. Sasuke thought as he struggled to continue standing. That's another reason they call Zabuza the demon of the mist. Kakashi stated as he eyed the battle intently. Tiden, what about Naruto? Was that strong chakra from before? Sakura said as she continued to watch the fight. I can't tell you, Kakashi said. Sasuke and Sakura eyed him, both knowing he knew something they didn't. Back on the battlefield, Zabuza moved his sword out of the way and once again swung his sword, aiming to decapitate Naruto. But Naruto had swung his cane as well, blocking Zabuza and keeping him at bay. Zabuza jumped back, and so did Naruto. The man was panting and breathing heavily, having many cuts, scrapes, and bruises on his body. Naruto, on the other hand, seemed a little winded from the fight, with a bruise on his cheek and a cut on his arm. But otherwise, he was okay. It's time to finish this, Zabuza, Naruto said as he readied his cane. Zabuza only grunted and readied his sword. Just as the two ran at each other, needles came flying from the trees, hitting Zabuza right in the neck. As soon as the needles hit, Zabuza immediately fell on the ground and didn't move. Suddenly, someone in a ninja outfit consisting of the standard Kyūbi pinstriped outfit, which stopped at the knees. Over that he wore a green haori with white trimmings, and around his waist a brown sash with a fringe trail wrapped around his waist twice. The person's hair was gathered in a white bun holder, while 2 locks of his hair fell loose, framing his face, bound with metal hair cuffs at the ends. Also, the person wore a hunter-knee mask on top of his forehead protector, which was white with thin, curved eye holes and a red wavy design in place of the mouth, as well as the Kyūbi symbol etched in the top. Thank you for your help. I have been tracking Zabuza for a while, and when I saw you had weakened him, I saw it as a perfect chance. Now I must take my leave. There are many secrets in this body, secrets that should remain secrets, the ninja said as he made a hand seal before disappearing in a whirl of leaves. Well, that happened. Anyway, Tazuna, we should be heading to your house before it gets dark. We're pretty close to the land of waves, so it shouldn't take too long. Naruto said as he looked over in the direction of his team and client. Naruto's right. We should start walking, Kakashi stated as he got up, his left eye once again covered by his forehead protector. Everyone nodded, and they began making their way to Tazuna's house. As they continued to walk, Sakura walked towards Sasuke. Sasuke, did you notice Naruto was using this thing called candy style? Yes, he used it before. Do you think it is some kind of new Kekkei Genkai? Sasuke asked. Although he didn't particularly like Sakura because of how annoying she was, he really wanted to find out more about Naruto, so he decided it would be appropriate to respond. Should we ask him? Sakura questioned as she glanced at Naruto. I'm not sure. Maybe we should wait a little bit. Then we will ask him privately. Sasuke said calmly as he, as well, glanced at Naruto. Unknown to them, Kakashi heard their entire conversation, causing him to question Naruto himself. How did he get such power? He had trouble with Zabuza, but it looked like Naruto didn't have any problems. Could it be the Nine Tails doing? So many questions that needed answering, but he too decided to ask Naruto privately some other time. We're here, Tazuna said as he pointed to some houses that were in the area. That is my house over there. Tazuna spoke as he pointed at a relatively large house. You can stay here until I finish building the bridge. Of course, some of you will come to guard me on the bridge as well. Tazuna finished as he stepped to the front door and began knocking. Soon, the door opened to reveal a long, blue-haired woman with a short-sleeved pink shirt, a long blue skirt that reached below her knees, and black sandals. Father, you're finally home. Are these the ninja you have hired? The long-haired woman asked as she gestured to the group. Yes. Team 7, this is my daughter Tsunami. Tsunami, this is Team 7. They're the ninja I hired to protect me, Tazuna said as he pointed at Team 7 and then at Tsunami. Thank you for taking the time to protect my father. I am truly grateful, Tsunami said with a smile as she bowed. No problem at all. We wanted to come here, Kakashi said with a nervous chuckle. You're right, Tizuna use your emotions against you. Naruto thought as he let out a sigh. He wondered what Kurama was doing right about now. Probably messing with some villagers. Wait a minute. Why would Kurama need the chakra? Could it be? Could something have happened to Kurama? No. He had faith in Kurama. He was one of the only people that was there for him. He trusted Kurama. He had faith that nothing bad had happened. Naruto finished his thoughts just in time too, because he noticed that Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Tizuna were going inside the house, so he quickly followed before he was left behind. Please, make yourselves at home. I'm in the middle of cooking lunch. I will call you when it's ready, Tsunami said as she headed into what could be presumed as the kitchen. All right, I think it's time we have a discussion over the schedule to protect Tizuna, Kakashi said as he turned to look at Team 7 and Tizuna with his arms crossed. This will be the schedule for guarding Tizuna. I will guard tomorrow. I will be giving you training to do while I'm out protecting Tizuna, just in case you run into anything while guarding Tizuna. I'm sure you will be able to handle it. The day after tomorrow, Naruto and Sasuke will be guarding the bridge builder. He's giving Sakura an extra day of training? I wouldn't argue. She probably needs it the most. Naruto thought as he nodded, although he wasn't quite happy that he was stuck with Sasuke. He got really cocky just because of his status as an Uchiha. Oh, if only he knew what clan he held from. Then Sakura and I will be guarding the bridge builder after you too. We'll continue this cycle until Tizuna finishes with the bridge. Kakashi finished while everyone nodded in conformation. For today we will relax, so don't worry about anything. Kakashi finished as walked over to Tizuna and asked if he could use a room. Tizuna nodded and led Kakashi to the guest room, leaving Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura in the living room. Well, I'll see you guys later, Naruto stated as he left out the front door. Damn it, there goes the chance of asking him anything privately, Sasuke thought as he gritted his teeth. How could someone like him be stronger than a great Uchiha like himself? He wanted answers, and he wanted them now. Sakura glanced at Sasuke and saw he was making one of his cool faces, causing her to squeal and blush as she thought about how cool Sasuke was. Over with Naruto, he went into some forests and got in a meditative position. Soon a projection of what Kurama was currently seeing appeared in his mind. He chuckled a little when he saw he was fighting what looked like a beat-up raccoon dog. He knew of his one-sided little rivalry with a one-tailed demon beast, Shikaku. He concluded that Kurama had used the chakra to mercilessly beat up the raccoon dog, though he would have considered it bad. But then he looked into Kurama's past memories and noticed the raccoon dog had started at first. Self-defense, he guesses. He stopped meditating and began choking at what had appeared next to him. When he looked at what it was, he saw Kurama choking and mumbling something like "stop." Naruto let go of Kurama, who began to breathe heavily and calmed his breath as he looked at Naruto with somewhat angry eyes. What the hell was that for? Kurama said loudly as he growled at Naruto. Well, you happened to pop up surprising me and causing my instincts to react, and that caused me to attack. And you were the cause, Naruto said nonchalantly, as if the whole situation never happened or didn't matter. Anyways, how did you just pop out of nowhere? You aren't the only one that can perform the body flicker technique, you know. Uh-huh. So how's the new body? Got used to it yet? Naruto asked as he laid on the ground. I'd say I'm pretty accustomed to it right now, could modify it a bit to suit my chakra, and be able to use it smoothly, but other than that, I'd say, yeah. Well, while you were out and about, I ran into Zabuza Momochi, a pretty interesting guy. When you took the chakra, Zabuza seemed to have his own kind of demonic chakra. Although it wasn't the strongest demon chakra I have felt, it was up there. Interesting. Maybe a demon is working with him, or maybe he's a half demon. Could be one of the two. You have a point right there. I guess I'll deal with it when it comes. I'm going back. They probably finished cooking the food, so I should go before they get suspicious of something. Do you want to come with me? Or do you want to stay out here? I guess I'll go with you. Now that I have my own body, I actually experience hunger, and that raccoon dog wasn't enough to fill me up. Naruto nodded and grunted as he stood up and began walking towards the location of Tezuna's house, with Kurama following closely. Naruto arrived at the front door and opened it to see Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke, Tezuna, Tsunami, and a boy with spiky black hair and dark-colored eyes, wearing a green jumpsuit with a yellow shirt and a simple pair of sandal and a blue and white striped bucket hat, sitting at the table. Welcome, Naruto. You arrived just in time. Preparations for dinner are ready, so you can sit down over there. Tsunami pointed towards an empty chair as she got up and went into the kitchen. Naruto pulled the chair from under the table and sat down on it as he waited for the food to be brought. While he was waiting, he failed to notice everyone staring at him. Most of the looks were of confusion, but one was of worry. Naruto, what is that? Sakura asked, pointing at a creature that was next to Naruto. Huh? Oh, you mean that thing? That's Kurama. Naruto said nonchalantly, not caring that he had just given them the name of the great nine-tailed demon fox. Kurama did not take nicely to this, however, and proceeded to bite down on Naruto's arm, causing him to smash the fox against the table, almost breaking him in the process. And Naruto, what are you doing with a fox? Kakashi asked nervously as he feared the worst. I don't know. I found it and it just started following me. Naruto said with a shrug as he roughly patted Kurama's head. I'm not some pet, you know. I can kill you in an instant. Kurama shouted, angrily surprising everyone at the table. Did it just talk? Tezuna said as he pointed at Kurama, almost tipping back his chair. Yeah, don't worry about it. Just pretend it is not here. Naruto said calmly as everyone's sweat dropped at his antics. Everyone stopped with their confusion when Tsunami walked in holding a large pot with steam coming from the sides. Tsunami set the pot in the middle of the table and took of the lid to reveal a delicious-looking soup. Saliva began pouring out of everyone's mouths, just as Tsunami began passing around plates. As soon as everyone got their plates and spoons, they went crazy, and as soon as they calmed down, the pot was empty and everyone's was digging into their food. Naruto shared with Kurama, since Tsunami didn't seem to notice him, leaving him with no bowl for food. Soon, after everyone had enjoyed themselves with a nice meal, it was time to go to sleep to be ready for tomorrow. A different beginning. Naruto arose from the bed he was currently laying on and jumped off the bed, stepping on Kurama's tail in the process. Shouldn't have slept on the floor. Kurama squealed and jumped into the air before landing head first into the ground. Bastard Kurama growled lightly. Didn't Kakashi say we were going to have some training today? Should probably look for him. Let's go, Kurama, Naruto said, completely ignoring the fact that he had stepped on Kurama's tail. Naruto went downstairs and went to the front door, only to find Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura waiting in the front door. Hurry, Naruto. We have to go training immediately. There might be some real threats while protecting Tazuna, so we have to be ready, Kakashi stated. We're going out to the forest to train. I have to teach you guys something that could end up being beneficial for you guys. So follow me, Kakashi said as he began walking out the door. Sasuke, Sakura, Kurama, and Naruto followed Kakashi until they reached a clearing in the forest. Although there were many trees, 3 stood out with them being in line and separated from the rest. Kakashi-sensei, what will our training be? Sakura asked with a confused look. Glad you asked, Sakura. Our training will be to climb these trees, Kakashi said with a smile. How is climbing a tree going to make us stronger? The all too arrogant Sasuke asked. Instead of telling you, let me just show you, Kakashi stated as he began to walk over to one of the 3 trees. Kakashi did a single hand seal, and soon, a bluish hue began surrounding the soles of Kakashi's sandals. Kakashi began to slowly walk towards the tree, and everyone except Naruto and Kurama were shocked as Kakashi began walking up the tree with no trouble at all. Soon Kakashi reached the top and shouted out, "You will learn how to control your chakra better with this technique, as well as be able to traverse more ground." Kakashi ran down the tree and stopped in front of the members of Team 7 and Kurama. Now all you have to do is hold this hand seal and focus the chakra to the soles of your feet, Kakashi stated as he did a half tiger seal and focused the chakra to his feet. Use these kunai to mark where you left off. When you think you're finished, go to the bridge. I'll be there guarding Tazuna, Kakashi said before heading off. Wait, Kakashi. What if I already know how to do the tree climbing exercise? Naruto asked, stopping Kakashi in his tracks. Well, you're going to have to show me first, Kakashi stated. All right, if you say so, Naruto said before he ran to the tree and easily went up the trunk. Is this okay, Kakashi? Naruto asked. Why, yeah, just fine, Kakashi said with a sweat drop. Well then, Kakashi, what do I do next? Naruto asked. Do you know what the water walking exercise is? Kakashi asked. Yep. Do you know how to do it? Yes, I do. Prove it. Okay. Naruto ran to a lake that was nearby and didn't even stop when he reached the water. And once again, everyone except Kurama were surprised when they saw Naruto walk on water. Naruto's body flickered to Kakashi's position and said, "Was that okay, Kakashi?" Igriega. Well then, what do I do next? Do you know how to, yeah. You didn't even let me finish, you know what? Fine if you know how to do it. Go rest or something. Today's my shift and tomorrow's yours. So get ready, Kakashi said with an angry sigh before running off to the bridge. All right, you heard him, Kurama. Let's go, Naruto said while signaling to Kurama to follow him. Sakura and Sasuke were about to ask Naruto a question when he suddenly disappeared. Damn it, not again. I will find out how he got so strong and what that whole candy thing is, Sasuke said with an angry grunt before he began trying the exercises. Sakura looked at Sasuke worriedly, but also decided to begin the exercise given to them by Kakashi-sensei. Over with Naruto and Kurama, there was an intense battle going on. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Ha! I win. Scissors beats paper, so that's a victory for me, Naruto shouted with joy. Damn it. How could I lose to the likes of you? Oh, wait. Maybe because paper is the only one I can do. Oh, stop complaining. You're the one that wanted to play. I'm the one that wanted to play. You're the one that wanted to play because you were bored, so don't go blaming it on me. Just get over it. Let's just play something else, Naruto said nonchalantly. I don't want to play anymore. Stop being a little kid. Grow up already. Who are you calling a kid, you damn brat? I can kill you in an instant, so don't test me, kid. Fine, fine. Should I do some training? I haven't done any in a while. And that reminds me, I actually got some cool ideas for some new candy jutsu. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto shouted, and soon a group of Narutos appeared in front of him. All right, everybody, I got a cool idea for a new jutsu. So listen up, I already have a basic idea as to what seals and the amount of chakra necessary, but you're going to help with the performing of the jutsu. Here are the seals. After an hour of trying the new jutsu out, one of the clones managed to perform the jutsu, albeit only in one hand. Good job. Looks like we're halfway there. Keep working. I'm hoping to finish this jutsu by today. Might come in handy someday. Naruto shouted to his clones. All right, his clones shouted back. Naruto, I have a question. Oh, what is it, Kurama? Have you figured out that jutsu yet? I haven't. No matter how hard I try, I just can't figure out. I got the other one down, but now I'm just trying to master it. But other than that, no, I haven't. Interesting, but you better learn it quick. I can sense a near danger arriving. You might be able to feel it too. I can tell that whoever this force belongs to is pretty strong. Don't worry about me. You're acting like I didn't train with the strongest tailed beast for 6 rough years. Well, that's true, but still, you should be careful. You're still not the strongest out there. Someone could still kill you. Yeah, I know, but that's only because there is still plenty of training left to do, so I can still get stronger. Hey, boss, one of the Naruto clones shouted. What is it? Naruto responded. I got it down. I can use it with both hands, and so can the other clones, so we're done, the clone stated. Good job, Naruto said as he held up his hand and formed a hand seal just as a loud and audible poof was heard. Well, now I have this jutsu. I might want to practice using it myself. Get some muscle memory for these gauntlets. Those demon brothers were good, but they barely did any practice, Naruto stated as he began forming hand seals. Candy style. Candy gauntlets jutsu, Naruto shouted, and soon gauntlets made completely of rock candy appeared on his hands. Shadow clone jutsu, Naruto said once again. 20 clones appeared and looked at the original Naruto with confusion, but then they looked at him with anticipation when they noticed the gauntlets. The clones gave a battle cry and charged at Naruto with gauntlets of their own. Naruto calmed his breathing and focused on the opposing Narutos running towards him. 2 on the left, 3 on the right, 14 in front, and Naruto began thinking. 1 from behind, Naruto thought just as he slashed behind him to see a clone pop behind him. Now the real fun begins. Good luck, Naruto. Thanks, Kurama. but I didn't really need it, Naruto said cockily in return. Come at me with all you got, no holding back. Naruto shouted to the clones, who responded with grunts. A few moments later, a beat-up Naruto was panting and wheezing on the floor and wincing in pain slash. Are you still alive? Kurama said as he prodded him with a stick. I'm fine. It's just really hard to fight someone who knows exactly what you're going to do, especially if there are multiples of them, Naruto said with a chuckle as he laid on the ground. I need to rest. Go tell them I'm going to sleep here. I'm already really comfortable. Oh, and tell them Zabuza is still alive. Kakashi might know already, but I know Duck Butt and Pinky don't, Naruto said with a tired yawn before he fell asleep. Leaving me to do your dirty work? Fine. I'll go notify Hitaki and the rest of your group, Kurama said with a growl before disappearing. Kurama appeared on Sasuke's shoulder, just as Sasuke was running up the tree. Hey! Sasuke was shocked and lost his balance and fell from the tree and headed toward the floor. Sasuke grunted as he collided with the floor and laid there for a while before finally getting up. Damn fox, what do you want? Sasuke said in an angry tone. He had disrupted him from his training after all. The brat told me to inform you that he might not be able to show up at the old guy's house. You tell Kakashi if he asks. He's too far away, and I don't want to go all the way over there, Kurama said in a bored tone. Oh, and I almost forgot. The brat might have not told you this, but Zabuza is still alive. What? How can Zabuza be alive? Didn't that ninja kill him with those needles? Sakura said, bewildered by what the fox was saying. I don't know the details. Naruto just told me to tell you that. Anyways, I'll be going now. Wait, Sasuke shouted. What do you want, Uchiha? I have to ask you a question, Sasuke said in a serious tone. Naruto had fallen asleep quickly, and if you were to watch it would seem that the boy would never wake up. Well, that didn't last long. Naruto had sensed someone coming in his direction. He continued to pretend he was asleep to see what were the intentions of the person approaching him. This is my chance. I can't eliminate him right now. He is a threat to Zabuza, so I can't let him live. Damn it. I didn't bring any weapons with me. I just have to try and choke him, the person thought as they continued to approach the sleeping Naruto. The person reached out with their hand, preparing for a choke. However, they didn't get too close. Why, you may ask? Well, of course, it's because Naruto stopped them. What are you doing? Naruto said in a threatening tone as he continued to apply pressure to the person's hand. I was just trying to wake you up. It's cold out here, so I thought you might get a cold if you continue to sleep out here, the person said with a semi-calm voice, although Naruto could hear a small amount of fear in the person's voice. Well, thanks, but I didn't need to be woken up. I can't catch colds anyways, Naruto said in a calm voice, although secretly, he was planning on how to eliminate this person if they are to assault. I apologize. I didn't have that knowledge. Please forgive me. My name is Haku. The person, now revealed to be named Haku, stated in the most apologetic tone she could muster. It's okay. Just don't do it again, or something bad could happen next time, Naruto said nonchalantly. What are you doing out here anyways? Not many people have been coming here, at least from what I was told, Naruto said. I was picking some medical herbs for a friend of mine who had recently been injured. Would you like to help me? Haku asked. Sure, I guess. I don't know much about medicine, but just tell me what they look like, and I should be able to get some for you, Naruto stated. Thank you. They look like this, Haku said as she lifted up a basket and took one of the herbs out. and let Naruto examine it. Okay, got it. There are plenty here. I guess I should start, Naruto said. Thank you, Haku said with a smile. So, by the looks of it, you were a ninja, correct? Haku asked. Yep, I guess this headband really gives me away, Naruto said with a chuckle. So if you're a ninja, what do you fight for? Haku questioned. Well, I guess I fight for myself, really. No one has really cared about me, and people tend to ignore and shun me. So, I guess that's the most plausible answer, Naruto said with a shrug. So you do not fight for anyone special? A friend, maybe? Not really. I've been alone most of my life, so I have almost no friends. The village I reside in couldn't give less of a crap if something were to happen to me. So, I can't necessarily say that I fight for my village either. But if someone were to give me their time of day, and I really consider them a friend, I would probably fight to protect them, Naruto said with a sigh. You know, they say a person is stronger when they have someone they are fighting for, Haku said softly. Really? Guess I never took that into consideration. If what you say is true, I'm probably the weakest person you will ever meet, but you never know. It could change over time, Naruto said with a small frown, but then grinned. Anyways, here's some herbs, Naruto said as he handed her a handful of herbs. Thank you. I guess I'll be taking my leave now, Haku said with a bow. By the way, I'm a boy, Haku said before continuing on his path. W. He really had me there. I completely thought he was a girl. Or could he be lying to me? Oh man, I swear. Some people are a pain in the brain, Naruto said with a sigh as he too walked off. I guess I'll head back to the house. I have nothing better to do. I'm not sleepy anymore. And I'm pretty bored. Maybe there will be something more entertaining over there, Naruto said with a shrug. What do you want to ask? It's about Naruto. How is he so powerful? Sasuke asked angrily with a hint of jealousy in his voice. Why should I tell you? Kurama said in a bored tone. Because I am an Uchiha, and as such you have to answer my question. Don't be arrogant, boy. I couldn't care less if you were an Uchiha or not, Kurama said with a smirk. You stupid mutt, Sasuke growled as he reached out with his hands to try and grab the fox. However, he couldn't do as planned because Kurama had bitten his hand when he had gotten too close. Who do you think you're calling mutt, you brat? Get out of my face. If you want to know so badly, ask Naruto yourself. Is that how you're going to act, you mutt? Maybe you need a little convincing, Sasuke said with a smirk as he closed his eyes and opened them once again, revealing a red eye with a black pupil, two tomo-like mark on one eye, and a single tomo in another. The tomo began spinning wildly, and he stared directly into Kurama's eyes. You bastard, Kurama hissed as he began losing control to the Sharingan. If this keeps going, he's going to actually trap me. His Sharingan may be weak, but so is his body and this chakra. I simply have too much of it, and I don't have a second source that can disrupt the Genjutsu, Kurama thought weakly. Sasuke began smirking even more as he noticed that the fox's control was starting to slip. However, that didn't last long, because just as he had finished, he was kicked away. What do you think you're doing, Uchiha? Naruto said coldly as he walked over to Sasuke and picked him up by the collar. Unhand me this instant, you weak trash, Sasuke said in an angry tone. Weak, am I? That may be true, but I'm not as weak as you, Naruto said in a confident tone before kicking Sasuke away. Go, Sasuke-kun. You can beat Naruto, Sakura shouted, She had seen everything that happened and was now blinded with what she thought was the super amazing power of the Uchiha. Naruto scoffed at Sakura's antics, but ignored her for the time being. His main focus at the moment was the cocky Uchiha. Don't you ever try to control Kurama again. If you do, there's no knowing what will happen to you, Naruto said coldly. Naruto began walking in the direction of Kurama to try and get him, but was rudely interrupted when he heard these words. Fire style, great fireball jutsu, Sasuke shouted, mustering as much chakra as he could to shoot a giant raging fireball straight at Naruto and Kurama. In both Sasuke's and Sakura's point of views, they saw that Naruto was completely engulfed by the flames as well as Kurama. What they didn't know was that what they had seen had all been a figment of their imagination, and soon both were on the ground unconscious. Guess I can have a little fun with this, Naruto said as he picked up Sakura's body and put it on top of Sasuke's body in a very sexual position. That does it. Let's go, Kurama. They have been taken care of. He got knocked down a few pegs. Although I am surprised, I didn't expect him to have a Sharingan already, Naruto said with a sigh as he began walking in the direction of the house. Naruto arrived at the house to see Tsunami, Tazuna, Inari, and Kakashi at the table with food on their plates. Hello, Naruto. Do you happen to know where Sasuke and Sakura are? Kakashi asked. Those two idiots, I beat them up. They attacked Kurama here, as well as me, Naruto said in a smug tone. You know, fighting with your teammates isn't good for your teamwork, Kakashi said with a sigh. I'll go get them. You wait here, Naruto. We have to have a group meeting, Kakashi said in a somewhat frustrated tone. Naruto sat down at the table and looked at the three staring right at him. What? Naruto asked in confusion. Naruto, would you like me to get you some food? Tsunami said. Yes, sure. I'm pretty hungry right now, so I wouldn't mind, Naruto said with a smile. I'll go right away, Tsunami said as she went into the kitchen. Why? Inari asked. Why what? Naruto asked. Why do you even try to fight against Gato? You can't beat him no matter how hard you train, Inari said in an angry tone. Look here, kid, I don't know if you know this, but we're ninja. We are not any normal civilian. We're grade A ninja. Got that? Well, most of us anyways. Gato may hire as many people as he wants, but when it comes to real ninja, there is no one that can win, Naruto said with a bored tone. He really didn't like stuck-up brats. But Gato is unbeatable. Not even my dad could defeat him. Inari shouted. Was your father a ninja? Naruto asked. And no, but he was strong as one. Inari revolted. Inari, stop. These people took the time to protect and come here with me for the sake of our village. Be nice to them, Tazuna scolded Inari. It's all right, he's still young. He doesn't know his manners, obviously, Naruto said in a cocky tone. I do to know my manners, Inari shouted. Sure, kid, come back when you can actually prove it, Naruto said with a smirk, causing Inari to become enraged. Calm yourselves, boys. This isn't the time for that, Tsunami said as she entered with a pot filled with soup. Besides, you wouldn't like to spoil the food, would you? Tsunami said with a hint of malice in her tone. Naruto felt a shiver go down his spine and nodded his head swiftly in fear of Tsunami. They were all interrupted when a certain silver-haired man walked in with Sakura and Sasuke in tow. Sakura sporting a bright pink blush on her face, while Sasuke was glaring daggers at Naruto. Ahataki, I see you have returned with Haruno and the Uchiha, Naruto said with a smirk. Yes, Naruto. After finding them in a rather inappropriate position, I awoke them and brought them with me, Kakashi said, still confused as to what his two students were doing in such a position. Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke, please, eat some of the food I made. You've been working hard and need to relax for tomorrow, Tsunami said with a warm smile. Thank you, Tsunami. Hear that you too? Eat up and get some rest. We have a long week ahead of us, Kakashi said as he sat at the table. Naruto ate and went outside and into the forests once more, ignoring the questions he received as he left. Oh man, I feel something big gonna happen. What do you think, Kurama? Zabuza is still alive. There's that. But I feel another power in the area, a very powerful one. Be careful, Naruto, Kurama said as he laid down. Damn it, I already slept earlier. Guess I might as well train, Naruto said as he performed the shadow clone jutsu. I feel that power too. Guess I should be careful. I started to get cocky, Naruto said with a sigh as began instructing his clones and took out a scroll. Better prepare some seals. Not too good at it. Better than most, that's for sure, Naruto said as he began reading the seals and taking out more scrolls and slips of papers at a different beginning. Naruto awoke from his place on the floor. He stood up and began walking to Tezuna's house. He felt something in the air. The atmosphere was different. He could tell something big was about to go down. That's when he heard a scream. "Ah, crap," Naruto said to himself before using his chocolate body flicker to try and reach Tezuna's house as fast as he could. Naruto arrived to see the front door of the house broken down, as well as two thugs dragging out Tsunami, who was tied up and knocked out. He stealthily appeared behind the thugs, using his candy kunai to impale the two thugs in their necks, releasing a grunt as both fell to the ground lifelessly. He saw Inari inside the house, who had wide eyes and was crying, blood coming from his mouth and a large bruise on his cheek. "Oh man, what the hell? Why does this happen to me?" Naruto said as he walked over to Inari, who backed away in fear, still shocked from the two thugs. "Don't worry, Inari. It's me, Naruto. Come over here, let me heal that bruise," Naruto stated as he saw Inari nod slowly and made his way towards the boy. Naruto's hand glowed a light green as he put his hand over the bruise Inari had. Soon enough, Inari's bruise began to recede, and the boy was just fine. "Come on, help me get your mother inside," Naruto said as he cut the ropes that were binding Tsunami. Naruto carried Tsunami bridal style and told Inari to clear out the sofa, which was strangely enough covered in bottles of sake. He gently laid Tsunami on the sofa and looked at Inari. "Watch your mother for me. I'll be back with the others, just in case any more of those bastards come here. Use this," Naruto said as he handed Inari a regular kunai that he carried in case any of his allies were to need some. Inari nodded with an intense look on his face. "Don't worry, I'll be back as fast as I can," Naruto said as he ruffled Inari's hair, which was not covered by the bucket hat he usually wore. Inari smiled and nodded once more. Naruto returned the smile and disappeared in a pool of chocolate. At the bridge. Well, we meet again, Zabuza Momochi," Kakashi said as a heavy mist set over them, and Kakashi revealed his Sharingan. "Kakashi, worse the blonde brat. I wanted to pay him back for the incident from before, Zabuza stated. If you want to get to my student, you'll have to go through me first, Sasuke, Sakura, Gartazuna. I'll handle this, Kakashi said in a determined tone. Very well. You asked for this, Zabuza said as he appeared behind Kakashi and did an overhead slash. Kakashi narrowly dodged said slash and threw 5 shuriken at Zabuza, who blocked with his sword. Zabuza narrowed his eyes and disappeared into the mist. Although Kakashi had the Sharingan, he still had difficulty completely detecting Zabuza, and when he saw Zabuza charge at him, he took out a kunai and blocked, which surprisingly enough managed to keep the sword at bay. Not bad, Kakashi, but this fight is just starting, Zabuza said as he dissolved into water, and soon Kakashi saw the real Zabuza behind him. Kakashi quickly jumped away, just in time too, as he saw Zabuza's blade impaled into the bridge that was being built. This mist is making this battle a lot harder. Guess I'll use that technique. They don't call me the copy ninja Kakashi for a reason, Kakashi thought as he performed some hand seals. Wind style, great breakthrough jutsu, Kakashi shouted as he released a large amount of air, which removed the fog, albeit not completely, but enough for the battle to remain easier. I'm glad I stumbled on that one guy who used this technique. I already forgot his name. Last time I remember, he was a chunin for our village, Kakashi thought. It's time to get serious, Zabuza, Kakashi shouted. My thoughts exactly, Zabuza said with a smirk. Water style, water dragon bullet. They both shouted in unison as 2 large water dragons rose up from the water. The dragons both collided, which caused a large amount of water to fall upon the bridge. Kakashi used this time as a distraction and charged at Zabuza. Lighting style, lighting blade jutsu, Kakashi said as he manifested a sword made completely of lighting chakra. Although not as powerful as his lighting cutter technique, he wanted to conserve chakra. Kakashi jabbed at Zabuza, who blocked with his sword. However, Zabuza's eyes went wide when he felt electric shock and fell to his knees. Kakashi saw this as a chance and tried to finish it with a stab to the heart. However, the same masked ninja from before appeared to block the attack with an ice mirror, which caused the sword to impale said mirror, but get stuck in the process. I told you not to interfere, Haku, Zabuza said in a gruff tone. But Zabuza-sama, you were in trouble, Haku said calmly. No, but stand aside. I have unfinished business, Zabuza said as he slowly stood up. Haku was about to reply when he was kicked away by Sasuke. Sasuke, I told you to stay back, Kakashi said as his lighting blade dissipated due to being stuck in the ice mirror and not having a constant flow of chakra. Please, Kakashi, let me handle the other one, Sasuke stated. You sure about that, brat? Don't come crying when you're dead. Oh, wait, you can't since you're going to be dead, Zabuza said. Sasuke just grunted and charged at Haku, who had stood up. Kakashi was about to tell Sasuke to come back, but was forced to dodge a swing by Zabuza. Come on, Kakashi. Let the kids play. You and me have unfinished business, Zabuza said with a chuckle as he continued to swing at Kakashi. Kakashi grunted and jumped away from Zabuza and performed more hand seals. Fire style, great fireball jutsu, Kakashi shouted as he released a large fireball from his mouth. Really, Kakashi, a fire jutsu? I expected more from a ninja of your caliber. Guessed I overestimated you, Zabuza said as he performed hand seals himself. Water style, water wall, jutsu. Zabuza, stated as a barrier of water, appeared in front of Zabuza, blocking the fireball with no trouble. Zabuza chuckled and charged at Kakashi, but failed to notice a puddle of water under him, causing him to slip and fall. What the? Zabuza shouted as he fell on the ground face, first with his but in the air. This is my chance, Kakashi thought as he body flickered behind Zabuza. Hidden Leaf Village secret technique. 1,000 years of death. Kakashi shouted as he did a tiger seal and inserted them in his Zabuza's behind. The bridge was quiet, and everyone looked to see Kakashi's fingers inside Zabuza's butt. Zabuza shouted and flew into the air, landing on the bridge face first once again. Another opening. Kakashi, though, as he once again performed the 1,000 years of death technique. Over with Haku and Sasuke. Sasuke faced Haku and threw several kunai. Haku dodged them with ease and threw kunai of his own. Sasuke revealed his Sharingan, wanting to not outdraw the fight and easily dodged the kunai from Haku. Haku noticed the Sharingan and saw Zabuza's condition and knew he needed to end this quickly so he could help Zabuza. I'm sorry, student of Kakashi, but I need to end this so I can help Zabuza-sama. I'll end this quickly, Haku said as he did some hand seals. Ice style. Demonic ice mirrors, Haku said as the area around Sasuke had become cold and soon was surrounded in a globe of ice mirrors. I'm sorry, were the only words that escaped Haku's lips as he began an onslaught of attacks with what seemed to be Senbon. Soon enough, Sasuke was covered in said Senbon and fell to the ground. Sasuke was breathing heavily. He had used his Sharingan to try and dodge the Senbon, but he could only go so far, even if his eyes did upgrade to the point where Sasuke now had 2 Tomo in each eye. But in the end, it wasn't enough, and it put him where he was right now. Am I going to die? But if I die, I can't kill Itachi. What would Itachi think? Am I a pathetic excuse? Is that why he let me live? Maybe he thought I would never be a threat to him. Is that it? So many questions were going through the young Uchiha's mind as he felt his breathing slow. Just in time. Well, you know what they say, the hero always comes last, Naruto said as he picked up Sasuke. In Naruto, Sasuke mumbled as he tried to breathe. Looks like you did a number on him, Haku. I'm impressed, even if Sasuke isn't that strong, Naruto said as he looked at one of the mirrors. How do you know my name? Haku said with shock. Huh? Don't you remember? We met in the forest, and you were looking for some herbs. Honestly, I thought you would be a little nice, Haku, Naruto said with a laugh. Why you knew? The whole time you knew. You could have killed me, but you didn't. Why? Haku asked. Take off the mask, will ya? It creeps me out, Naruto said with a grin. Haku took off his mask to reveal a beautiful face, strange for a male. Oh, there we go. Now, why don't we stop all the fighting and get along? After all, we both have a common enemy, Naruto stated. What do you mean? Haku asked as he looked at Naruto intently. Well, you'll find our enemy at the end of the bridge, Naruto said as he looked at the unfinished part of the bridge. Haku looked as well and went eye wide when he noticed Gato and a bunch of his thugs with him. Zabuza looked as well when he heard the blonde brat and was curious as to why Gato was here. Didn't I tell you I could handle the Leaf Ninja Gato? What are doing here? Zabuza shouted. Cleaning up, of course. With you and the Leaf Ninja weakened, I thought this would be a perfect chance to eliminate you. Two birds with one stone, as they say, Gato said with a smirk. Zabuza glared at Gato. You traitorous bastard. Zabuza shouted. Get them, don't leave a single one alive. Well, maybe Pinky over there, see what we can do with her. And while you're at it, bring Zabuza's slave. I'm sure he ain't really a boy. Plus, we can sell him if he really is one to the Mizukage, Gato said with a chuckle. The thugs smirked and charged at them. Sasuke was still down, and Haku fell to the ground as he soon ran out of chakra. Zabuza and Kakashi weren't any better, and Sakura, sure as hell, couldn't take them on. That left one person, Naruto. Naruto dropped Sasuke and faced the thugs. This will be fun, Naruto said as he performed hand seals. Soon he slammed his hand on the ground, causing a barrier to surround him and the thugs, allowing none of them to go after his weakened teammates or Zabuza and Haku. Naruto looked at all of the charging thugs. Too easy. Candy style. Chocolate wave jutsu, Naruto shouted as he spat out a massive wave of chocolate, which swept all of the thugs and knocked them back. Well, good time to try out our newly mastered jutsu, Naruto said with a smirk. Sorry, Kane, you won't be getting any action today. Candy style. Candy gauntlets jutsu, Naruto said as rock candy gauntlets surrounded his hands. The rest could only watch on as he saw each and every one of the thugs get brutally murdered. They noticed one guy's head fly into the air and another one's arms. Heck, they even saw some family jewels in the air. Naruto calmed down once he eliminated all of them, completely covered in blood. Oh gosh, I smell horrible. Oh yeah, one last little fucker to take care of, Naruto said as he saw Gato and stepped back before running away until he collided with the barrier which he kept banging on. Please, spare me. I'll give you anything you want, Gato shouted. That sounds good. Where are you hiding all your money? Naruto asked. In my home on the top left drawer. The combination is 1771, please. Gato yelled. Naruto created a clone and sent it to check if it was true, and sure enough, a few minutes later, clone Naruto came back with a thumbs up. Gato gave a sigh of relief. Sure, he might have lost here, but he was going to start over, find another country to take over. Then he would get back at the blonde brat for what he did. You fucked this country in the ass, Gato. I said I wouldn't kill you. You kept your side, and so will I, Naruto said as he started to walk away. Suddenly, Kurama appeared behind Gato and bit him in the behind, which caused the little man to run around in panic. Naruto released the barrier and saw all the villagers with wide eyes, as well as his teammates, except for Sasuke. He then noticed Zabuza with a smirk and Haku still on the ground. Well, he's all yours, Naruto shouted, which snapped the villagers back into reality. They looked at Gato, who was on the ground, crying with Kurama latching onto his butt. The villagers smirked menacingly and were about to grab Gato, when suddenly he was picked up by Zabuza. Wait. I thought you said you wouldn't hurt me. Gato shouted. I said I wouldn't. That doesn't count for them. Have fun, Gato. You deserve it after all, Naruto said as he whistled, which caused Kurama to let go of his booty. I'm not a dog, you know, Kurama said with a growl. Well, you responded, didn't you? Naruto said with a laugh. Kurama only growled and followed Naruto, who was walking towards Sasuke and Haku. He heard Gato scream and looked to see the villagers doing things to Gato, with Zabuza assisting. "Oh gosh, that's brutal. I'm happy that ain't me," Naruto said with a cringe. "Look who's talking, the guy who just eliminated an army of thugs on his own. Heck, I noticed you cut off one of those thugs' family jewels," Kurama said with a smirk. "Well, it looked like one anyway." "I guess, anyways, to take care of these two," Naruto said as his hand began glowing green. "I don't even know why I'm helping this cocky bastard. Guess I like beating him around too much to let him die right now," Naruto said as he removed all the Senbon and began healing the wounds. After Sasuke was stable enough, he went over to Haku, who was unconscious from chakra exhaustion. Naruto moved over Haku's body and checked for a heartbeat on his chest, only to feel something squishy. "What the hell?" Naruto said as he removed the top to see Haku wearing a bra, which wasn't the thing that surprised. Oh no, it was the fact that they were boobs being held by the bra. "Wait, what?" Naruto asked in confusion. Naruto put the top back on and began pumping chakra into Haku's body. Once Haku had an appropriate amount of chakra in his, or her actually, she began to wake up. Where am I?" Haku said softly as she looked around. "At the bridge, here. I'll help you get up," Naruto said as he put his arm out for her to be able to get up. "And Naruto? Wait, what are you doing here?" Haku said, flabbergasted. "My asshole." Everyone was silent as they turned to see Gato, who was screaming in agony. "Well, we're at the bridge where we were going to fight, but in the end, Gato had actually betrayed you. So I killed his army and left him at the mercy of the villagers and Zabuza," Naruto said with a grin. Haku took Naruto's hand and stood up. "Does that mean we're no longer enemies?" Haku asked. "Don't think so. Your boss betrayed you, so you have no need to kill our client, and we have no grudges, so we're good," Naruto said as he heard Gato shriek like a certain pink-haired banshee. 30 minutes later, yeah, they tortured him for that long. After the villagers had finished and Gato had died from the pain, they all began celebrating with what they could. Naruto sent a clone to retrieve the money and any stolen goods. He did give some to the country, just enough for them to start up good. He also helped in the construction by sending over 200 clones, which finished the bridge in no time. Gato was filthy rich. I gave them around 1 million Rio, and I still have 9 million to go. I'll never run out," Naruto said in a cheerful tone. Naruto looked at Zabuza and Haku, who were currently tied up with licorice. "Did you really have to do this?" Zabuza said as he struggled with his bindings. "No, but I did. I did it for fun, actually," Naruto said with a chuckle. "You blonde bastard," Zabuza said. "Oh, fine. I'll let you go. Under one condition," Naruto said. "May I ask what this condition is?" Zabuza said. "You become my servants," Naruto said with a smirk. "What did you say, you blonde-based turd?" Zabuza yelled. "You heard me. So what's it gonna be?" Naruto asked in a serious tone. "Fine, we'll be your servants," Zabuza said in a defeated tone. Naruto pulled out a red button and pressed it, which caused it to make a noise. "That was easy." Naruto smirked and removed the bindings. "Now that that's over with, where is your base servant?" Naruto asked. "Don't get cocky, brat, but I'll take you if you want," Zabuza said while trying to control his anger. Oh, don't act all pissy. I'm joking, but I do want to see your base, Naruto stated. 10 minutes later. Here we are, Zabuza said as he pointed to a small tree house. This was our base before Gato showed up. We left what we didn't need and took what we needed, which was just clothes, my sword, and some kunai and shuriken. Okay, well, I guess I'll go inside. Stay here in case someone comes, Naruto ordered before he went in. He explored and found almost nothing of interest, just scrolls, food, and other useless crap. Then he found some scroll on Haku's Kekiai Genkai. I'll take these, maybe I can learn a thing or two. Oh, what's this? Naruto asked as he looked at a jar with two eyes inside. They were blue like his. Well, let's try these on. My eyesight has been getting a bit blurry, Naruto said, completely disregarding the fact that it could have ended badly. Once he replaced the eyes, he felt strange. He noticed a mirror and saw his eyes look pretty normal. He wanted to see if these eyes changed like his old ones did when he applied chakra. He was expecting them to go red with slits instead of the normal circle shape, but what happened shocked him. A yellow Sharingan. Naruto shouted that a different beginning. Naruto continued to stare at the mirror. He couldn't believe his eyes, literally. The yellow eye currently had only one tomo on each eye, meaning it was at its weakest form. Naruto ran outside and shouted at Zabuza and Haku. What the hell were you doing with a Sharingan? That was a Sharingan? We thought it was a pair of regular eyes. We found it on this red-headed man we killed. He had it in a liquid jar, Zabuza said nonchalantly. Naruto calmed himself. It wasn't that bad. He now had a Sharingan, and unlike what he had heard from Kakashi, he didn't even feel the eyes draining his chakra. It's like these eyes were meant for him. Naruto looked through the remaining items and found nothing else that could interest him, so he decided to leave. Are we heading out, Naruto? Zabuza asked. That's Naruto-sama to you. And yes, we are heading out. Let's go back and meet with the rest of the team, Naruto said as he began sprinting away. Damn, Brad. But if I was to be the servant of someone, it would be this kid, Zabuza said with a smirk as he chased after Naruto. Haku looked at the retreating form of her two masters. Maybe our lives can change with Naruto around. Just maybe, Haku thought as she sprinted after the two. Naruto arrived just in time to see Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura at the bridge while waving at the large crowd of villagers who were whistling and cheering. Just in time, Naruto. We are heading back to the Hidden Leaf Village now, Kakashi said as he noticed Naruto. So what are you going to do about Zabuza and his companion? Kakashi asked. Oh, they're my servants now, Naruto said with a grin. Servants? Kakashi asked as he looked at Naruto in confusion. Yep, they have to do whatever I want, whenever I want. Doesn't matter what the request is, Naruto said as he crossed his arms. Is this true, Zabuza? Kakashi asked as he looked at the swordsman with curiosity. Sadly it is, but he better not get cocky. If he dare do anything inappropriate to Haku, he won't live to see another day, Zabuza said with a serious face. Let's just go. I have some things to discuss with the old man, Naruto said as he began walking across the bridge with Zabuza and Haku on his trail. I guess that's our cue. Goodbye, everyone. Let's go, Sasuke, Sakura, Kakashi stated as he too began walking across the bridge. Zabuza and Haku were shocked. when they saw Kurama suddenly appear next to Naruto. "Where have you been, Kurama?" "It's been a while," Naruto asked. "Just finishing some unfinished business," Kurama stated. "May I ask what was this business?" Naruto asked. "No." "Why not?" "Because I said so." "Don't be like that." "No means no. Now shut up and let's go back to your damn village." "Fine, be like that," Naruto said with a childlike humph. "Hey Kakashi, I'm gonna go on ahead. Take care," Naruto shouted, not giving Kakashi time to respond before he disappeared with Zabuza and Haku chasing after him as fast as they could. "Well, there goes Naruto," Kakashi said with a sigh. "I swear, whoever thought this team was a good idea is stupid," Kakashi thought. Unknown to them, a certain manga artist was sneezing uncontrollably. Looking at Yukishi, with Naruto. Naruto sped through the area and soon found himself in front of the village gates into the Hidden Leaf. Naruto waited for a couple of minutes, and soon a tired-looking Zabuza and Haku burst through the foliage while panting heavily. "About time he got here. Come on, we have a meeting with the old man," Naruto said as he began walking towards the gate. "Halt, who are you? And state your business here," one of the guards shouted. "I am Naruto Uzumaki. I am returning from a C-rank mission to the Land of Waves," Naruto stated. "What about the other two?" the other guard asked. "This is Zabuza Momochi, and this other one is Haku Yuki," Naruto said as he pointed at his two companions. "They are accompanying me to talk to our Hokage about joining the village," Naruto stated. Zabuza and Haku were shocked, but played along with it and nodded. "Very well. Open the gate," one of the guards shouted as the gate slowly opened. "You will be kept under surveillance for a while, until we are sure you do not pose a threat," the other guard stated. Naruto nodded and signaled for the two to follow him. He made his way through the village and walked into the Hokage Tower, ignoring the secretary who he knew would stop him from entering. Naruto walked right into the Hokage's office without a care in the world. "Sup, old man? We have to talk a bit," Naruto said as he stepped inside. Hiruzen wondered what Naruto would want to talk about and was shocked when Zabuza Momochi, an S-rank missing ninja, stepped through the door accompanied by a young female. Immediately, the ANBU appeared in a battle stance in front of the Hokage. "Halt! Back into your positions," Hiruzen demanded. "But Hokage-sama," one of the ANBU said. "No buts now," Hiruzen stated. The ANBU nodded and got back into their positions along the room. "I would prefer if we had this conversation in private," Naruto said as he looked around the room, noting the ANBU's hiding spots. "ANBU, please exit the room," Hiruzen stated, and the ANBU left quickly without a trace of their existence. Hiruzen did a couple of hand seals, and a barrier erected from the ground. "Now no one will hear us except for your two friends," Hiruzen stated. "Thanks, old man. I guess I'll begin with the first problem in mind. I know everything," Naruto said as he looked at Hiruzen with an intense look. Hiruzen's eyes went wide before he spoke. "I see." "Yup, the Nine Tails, my dad, my mom, everything," Naruto stated. "Well, I was planning on telling you and giving you this after your upgrade to Chunin, but I guess it can't be helped," Hiruzen said as he stood up. He moved the chair he was sitting on and removed the floor and pumped his chakra into what seemed to be a safe. Hiruzen pulled out a letter 2 keys, some scrolls, and a note from the safe, and concealed it again before handing over Naruto the items. The letter contains all the money Minato and Kushina owned. If what you say is true, then you should know there are your parents, Hiruzen stated. Naruto nodded and looked at the letter. He was happy to get some money, although he had gotten quite the hefty amount from Gato. This key unlocks Minato's home. Your mother gave me this other one, which is a key that unlocks the entrance into the Uzumaki clan home in the land of whirlpools, Hiruzen stated as he passed Naruto the 2 keys from his hand. Next is these scrolls. They contain jutsu from both your mother and father. Use them wisely, Hiruzen said as he handed Naruto the scrolls. Last but not least is the letter that your parents left you. You can read it now or later if you wish, Hiruzen stated. Naruto took the letter. He decided to read it since he couldn't wait to see what they said. To Naruto, if you're reading this letter, it probably means I'm dead. I'm sorry I cannot be there for you, but this village needs me, and I hope you understand this. I don't have much else to say other than I love you and take care. I have to go deal with that overgrown fox now. Good luck in your life. Minato Namikaze. To Naruto. Sup, blonde brat. It's your mom. If you're reading this, it probably means I'm not there right now. The overgrown fox managed to escape, and now I have to deal with it as well as your dad. I know he probably wrote you a letter too, short and simple, I bet, but we can't really write more with the fox getting closer. I love you and always will, Naruto. Take care. Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto couldn't help but let out a tear as he read the letter. Sure, they were short and simple, but it was enough for him. Thanks, old man. I'll take care of these things, Naruto stated. Very well. Was there anything more you wish to discuss? Hiruzen asked. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Can Zabuza and Haku join our village? Naruto asked nonchalantly. Sure, Naruto. I don't see why not. Just let them sign here. That should be it, Hiruzen said as he handed Naruto 2 papers which he promptly gave to Zabuza and Haku. They both shrugged and signed the paper. Do they have any special abilities we might want to know of? Hiruzen asked. Well, other than Haku being a Yuki, giving her the ice release, Kekiai Genkai, and Zabuza being one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, I don't see anything special, Naruto said with a shrug. Hiruzen sighed. What was Naruto's definition of special? Because it seemed it wasn't what it actually meant. Zabuza and Haku handed the papers to Naruto, who in turn handed them to Hiruzen. That's it. Zabuza and Haku are now part of the Hidden Leaf. I'll register them as ninja and assign them to your team, Hiruzen said with a smile. Thanks, old man. I have one more question. If I'm the last of my clan, am I the clan head? Naruto asked. Yes, it does, Naruto. Why do you ask? Hiruzen answered. Because I want to reform my clan. I heard the Uzumakis were wiped out by 3 major villages, so I want to bring the clan back into prosperity. Even if I'm the last registered survivor, I have hope that there are more Uzumakis out there, Naruto said with determination. If that is what you wish, I declare the Uzumaki clan to be an official clan. Please sign here, and that should be it, Hiruzen stated. Naruto signed the paper that Hiruzen pulled out, and once he was done, Hiruzen began to speak. Now that you are an official clan and you need members, you'll need to either adopt members or enter the Clan Restoration Act, or the CRA for short. You could decide and tell me later. For now, I think you should visit Minato's home as well as the Uzumaki clan home, Hiruzen said with a smile before he dropped the sound barrier and called back in his AMBU. Good day, Naruto. By the way, the Chunin exams are coming up. Might want to ask Kakashi about that, Hiruzen stated. Thanks, old man. I will. Oops. I almost forgot one thing, Naruto said as he applied chakra to his eyes. Hiruzen was curious and went wide-eyed when he saw a yellow Sharingan. See you later, old man, Naruto said as he deactivated his eyes and left to wherever this key said to go to. Zabuza and Haku following Naruto as he jumped from rooftop to rooftop. Here we go, my dad's house, Naruto said as he saw a small home that didn't look too impressive. Naruto walked to the front door and slid the key in the keyhole and unlocked the door. He looked around, and when he sensed no one, he went inside, telling Zabuza and Haku to stand and guard. It's bigger on the inside, Naruto mumbled. Naruto looked around and noticed a small crib with plenty of toys scattered in the area. Guess these were for me, Naruto said with a sad smile as he picked up a stuffed panda. He continued to look around, a small kitchen with a sink, fridge, table, and food that surprisingly was still good to eat. Next, he found the bathroom, which he noticed was kind of dirty and messed up. Then he remembered that he was born, which meant they did that. But the bathroom of all places. Naruto ignored that and continued and found what he guessed was his parents' room. There was a single king-size bed and a lamp resting on a drawer. He looked through it, but found it to be empty. In fact, the whole place was empty. Naruto sighed before exiting the room. He continued to explore, not finding anything of great interest. That's when he stumbled upon a basement door. He opened the door and went inside to see only darkness and a set of stairs. He went down and continuously used a fire jutsu to keep the area lit up, albeit a small one. He didn't want to burn the house down after all. As he made his way down, he noticed a torch which he grabbed and ignited, giving him the light he needed. He finally made it to the bottom and was shocked when suddenly the place lit up. Naruto put out his torch and set it aside, looking at what was before him. Many scrolls adorned the walls as well as many weapons. He got all the scrolls and sealed them away into his jacket pocket. He decided to take the weapons some other time and began exploring the area a bit more. That's when he saw something that shocked him. It was his father's special kunais, the one that allowed him to teleport in the middle of combat. He took the ones that were there and sealed them away. He then noticed the formula for the seals on the kunai and took it as well. Just what I needed. Now I can perfect the flying thunder god technique, maybe even make my own variation, Naruto said as he continued to explore even more. He was even more shocked when he found a special scroll that was locked away. He touched the lock, which caused it to open immediately, much to the surprise of Naruto. He reached and took the scroll and began reading it. Rasengan, yes. I had learned about this from Kurama. Now I'm one step closer to getting this technique as well. Aw man, today's a good day, Naruto said with a grin as he pocketed the scroll and continued his search. After not finding anything else of interest, he decided to leave and come back at a later date. He could still use it for other things in the future. Naruto exited the basement and made his way to the front door and opened it and stepped outside. Find anything good? Zabuza asked. You bet. Couldn't be happier. I'll come back later. I'm going to my apartment to hit the hay. I'm tired, Naruto said as he began walking away. Soon Naruto arrived and went inside, inviting in Zabuza and Haku and let them rest on the sofa or on the floor, but the bed was all his. Sure, he could have slept at his dad's house, but he felt something there, something that wasn't supposed to be there, and he didn't want to sleep there. He said good night and fell asleep quickly, completely forgetting about Kurama, who was sleeping on the floor next to him.